Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Allah. Hello. Allah. Namaste. Welcome. I don't know all the languages. Hello. That's all I'm saying. Hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? No. No, it's not actually. I wasn't looking for anyone. Especially not you, Wiz. How are you, everyone? Ha 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 ha. I don't know why, but on my thing it says feels become a YouTube member. He become a golden wizard unless it's like another month. I don't know. You have to let me know, Phil. I don't know. I don't know, geez. I don't know. Got my tin here, right? I got a copy of the go. My vape and my shades, and it's 77 miles to Bradford. Hit it. President, how do you? Hey there, Rich. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. It is a calling show. I hope I've actually had the link ready. I normally have it all copied and ready, but oh, whiz, come on, mate. It's like the grandkids are here. I was messing about, like you do. Then I was watching something, and then let me copy that. I saw in here, which is this one here. I just tried to look that up because I thought, oh, we could show that, but I can't find anything. It's like 13 days ago, 6 months ago. So, yeah. And you said today, so nothing's coming up. So I don't know. Is that actually on Young Bob's channel? Because that might actually go direct there, and I. Young Bob. Young Bob. I was watching him actually talking about something about trans and mental illness earlier, but masked Antifa thugs attack Manchester's remigration protest. That was 3 weeks ago. No, there's no other videos there either. Oh well. But I thought, oh, we'll have a look and we could all see it. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll have a watch, won't it? Police did nothing to the attackers but arrested Fred. Now that sounds about right, geez. That sounds about right. That does indeed. Look at the size of my beard. I'll tell you what. Do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to tell you something here, right? I'll tell you something, right? I've never in my life thought about, a divorce. But wifey's like, do you want to cut your hair a bit shorter and cut your beard a bit shorter? You what? We've been together for 27 years and you tell the whiz to get his hair cut, trim his beard. Not happening. Not happening. I think that some other things are going to start turning bad for the police, the left, and these Islamists lot we have to live with. Yep. My chosen little story to start today is the 30,000. What's it called? 30,000 that turned up for the end of Ramadan for their prayer for Eid. 30,000 Muslims on the Birmingham Park, Small Heath Park in Birmingham. It was. I go for banter all the time lately. Everyone seems to have rabies except the Wiz. Hey! Don't know what's going on with me. But another migrant. 50. Oh, really? Is that right? See, it's. And then people got the audacity to go out big signs going, more illegal immigrants welcome here. Oh, Restore Britain is officially a party as of yesterday. I've done a video. I'll tell you what, I put it up on X. I put a video up on X and it's up on YouTube. It's doing better on X. It's had like 150 views compared to 50 on YouTube. And I've had loads of people like following me and everything. And do you know, all the times I've been posting and saying this and that about Advance UK, not Dickie Bird. A couple of people. But no, I put that video up with Restore and it's gone crazy. I'm gaining subscribers. I was watching the views and that. I was like, blimey heck. So, what can I say? Yes, that's what I look for. I couldn't find anything, mate. Oh. Yeah, TikTok mood. Yeah, hey. Oh, Pat the Milkman. 1999? Pat, I told you I do not require your money. I said I was going to delete the video anyway. I apologise for messing up your stream with you. Yeah, you want him, mate. You want him, mate. Look at my eyes. Look how serious I am, mate. Oh, These eyes are the leather strap of the anus. The Quran says so. And to the daughter, pretty insulting her. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Apology accepted. From the video I sent you, it's clear she was raised by a monster. Yep. He clearly has a history of using her as a shield, even physically. Yes. I can confirm that, Pat, after what I've seen and what I've heard. So, yes. He won't be coming back on the channel, mate. He won't be coming back. Yeah, we've seen, heard and stuff and involved in, like, you know, a house and drugs and everything. But anyway, yeah, it's not good. But I accept your apology, Pat. And yes, ladies and gents, I decided to remove the video. Pat lost his cool, said a few words, swear words. Oh, naughty, said the C word. Oh, Pat. But to be honest, it's not what this channel's about, is it? The way that sort of progressed and how it ended up. So I was like, right, you know, Pat was like, you know, not my shining moment either. So I was like, right, we'll delete it. We'll delete it. Don't worry about any, like, the monetaries, whatever. Doesn't matter. Like, there's more to life than money. Pat wasn't happy with it. He was having a bad day. You know, I've had days like that. You just, I don't know, you're just more aggro than everything. And you just throw it at people and got personal. That's not what this channel's about in any shape or form. So it's gone. The video's gone. There's no point saying any more about it. But I accept your apology, Pat. It's not an issue. I did say to her, I didn't want your money in that, but I do appreciate it, mate. I mean, you know, I'd rather sort of know that you're in a better place mentally, and as am I, and the channel's in a better place than any sort of money or whatever. But yeah, I appreciate it. And that's all said and done. So we'll move on from that, won't we? We'll move on for that, Pat. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, being a better man suits you, bro. Yeah, because I did say that, didn't I? Like, you know, I apologized to the young lady in question. You know, whether he apologized to Chris or not, it's a different story. But from what I've seen and heard as well, I can see where Pat's coming from now, so it's not an issue. What drama I missed? Oh, it's been deleted. Sorry, mate. But say, from the video I sent with, it's clear the daughter who is now participating in her father's bad behaviour. So I won't apologise for one thing I said to him. Yeah, it does seem that way. It does seem that way, doesn't it? So yeah, it's good. But like I say, the video's gone. It's all said and done. Pat apologised. I accept the apology. Hopefully Phil will be back and we'll all move on like it never happened. That's what I'm hoping, because this channel's always been about everyone meeting up, having a giggle, all part of the Wiz fam. Haha, said it. We're all Wizardians. Do you know what I mean? So no need to make lies, don't deserve respect. Exactly. He was telling some porkies. I've seen some video footage. I've heard other men talking. There's about 10 of them on stage. Some of them are his friends and they're saying what they're saying. So I've got no issue. But I won't be inviting him back up on screen or anything to say anything or that. I mean, it's just, no, it won't happen. So, and Pat even said, like, when we're talking out, he said, yep, take me off as being a mod and whatever. It's all good. So I was like, yeah, okay, Pat, not a problem. You know, he's manned up. He apologised. I've got no issue with that in any shape or form. I'm more than happy as a Christian to accept any apology. It was just a crazy one, but yet the video's gone, so we don't have to talk about it. It's gone. Like I say, I mean, I said to Pat, I was winding him up, going, man, I could lose £12 from that video, but I mean, we can do it £12. But I mean, Pat's friendship and having him here is more important than money. So the video's gone. End of situation. I said I didn't want his money, but he sent a 19.99 a super chat. So I love you, Pat. Respect, and I appreciate your apology. I was hoping more and more people I'd be like Jake. Did I mention Jake? Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. How you doing, mate? You good?
I'm all right. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Oh, Richard.
It's all good. So,
Good.
yeah, it's the.
I wouldn't suggest being more like me. That's not a to do. But I think things happen like they did the last time. It's one of the perils of being on the internet. You don't know who you're inviting in. You don't know what they're going to say. And the way that some people speak to other people or interact with other people can really get to your emotions, and sometimes it's not easy to contain yourself in the moment, and that's why I can completely understand Pat was the way he was yesterday. But I would say that there is a time and a place where that is an appropriate response, and there's a time and a place where there's a different standard that you have to use, and a conversation is not always the same thing. It really very much depends on the context of it. So a conversation like this is although it's informal, it does have a bit of a formality to it, and I think that perhaps if conversations were had face to face, there would have been a very different turnout. Although I'm not sure I'd want to have been in the room with Pat and Chrissy if they were face to face. I don't think that would have gone too well. But I think that Pat showed that he was the man. He knows what he did was wrong. He apologised for it, and that's just how Pat is. That's how he responds, and he has to try and contain himself in the moment. And I'm sure he already knows that, and I'm sure it's something that he's experienced before, and he obviously knows how to deal with it because he's apologised. So Chrissy and.
Yeah, no one should attack somebody's belief system, no matter what they think or what they believe in.
No, that's right.
Because it's their faith. It's how they are comfortable with life after death, and I think that's very, very personal to other people. So I don't think you should come out saying, "Well, you just believe in bullshit." You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, because there's a difference between criticising somebody's and insulting their belief. And instead of saying something like, "Oh, I think what you believe in is bullshit," what you could say instead is, "Do you believe somebody walks on water? Is there an example of somebody else ever doing that in history?" And
have you not?
That would be a legitimate query.
Yeah. Well, have you not seen them new jet suits that they make that you attach to your jet skis? That kind of looks like you're walking on water, so I don't see what his problem is.
Yeah.
There you go. Why not? You know what I mean? But what's that going to result in, though, apart from a circular argument? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which is what we have experienced for the last 5 hours that we've had, certain people on the channel. You know what I mean? And I'm not surprised as a councillor who is up for the Greens. You know what I mean? With that kind of rhetoric of thinking. Yeah, I dream this stuff at night. You know what I mean? I'm a bit slow when I'm first talking, but then when I go to sleep, I put things together, and then I join the dots, and then I can do a sensible realism of what the conversation was. Basically, it just all results in just a circular argument.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with somebody that doesn't listen, first of all. And you can't argue with somebody who comes into a conversation with a pre-decided conclusion, because then they're just going to say that everything they argue will be related to that.
I mean,
you can do it in a formal debate, because that's the whole point of it. But a conversation is to develop your understanding.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an atheist. Well, am I an atheist or am I agnostic? Because I believe that God is nature. You know what I mean? So that's kind of similar to Chris's. To Chris's belief system. But I'll
tell you what we need. I'll tell you what we need. You've only got me with a beard here. Richard ain't got a beard.
No.
For some strange reason, Jake hasn't got a beard. Has anyone else got a beard? Oh, there's a beard. Go on, Binky. That's what I'll call a beard, son. Have it. 2 beards to 2 no beards.
It's like being in ZZ Top now.
America.
Who is American flag? Happy days, happy days. And Defiant, I've got no email. Yes, I have. It's just come through. I'll shut up.
But the other thing I was going to say about Christie is he's quite obviously a bully. He's used to getting his own way around things, which is why he was talking over everybody, which is why he was raising his voice and speaking a lot louder than everybody. But ultimately, if you queried him on any of his beliefs, it just fell apart with one question. And really, it summed it all up when he said that he hadn't even read those books. And to have the audacity to try and put forward an argument when you've done homework is really the only way you can guarantee to make yourself a complete fool.
Yeah. So while this is fresh, actually, so Pat said, "Wait a minute, we're always ripping apart Islam, yeah, but Christianity isn't. Christianity isn't oppressing people's beliefs and stuff, is it? You know what I mean? Or any other religion for that matter. There's only one that is, named after submission to that religion.
We're happy to do so.
Yeah, we're happy to do so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have published this morning my article on Islam about it being inherently violent. I'm not trying to promote anything on here to earn any money. It's all free on my Substack. Everything I do.
Hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Carry on. I apologise. I've just had my wrong microphone plugged in.
Good on you. And essentially, I list several different ways in which Islam is either inherently violent or causes conflict with Western society. And I've gone through it. There's evidence from the Quran, there's scholars, there's data from various different government organizations. It's all footnoted. There's a full bibliography, so nobody can ever say, you made that up. It's all cited. And it is a very long read. So if you don't like reading, then it's not for you. But if you're interested in Islam, have a look. It's, like I say, it's free. It's on Substack. I'm sure that some of you might find it interesting.
Yeah.
I don't. Can you put a link up, Jake? I don't know if you can do links or not.
I don't. Yeah, it's just my name, Jake Forder 1.
Oh, there you go.
I've lived with Islam most of my life. I'm from Bradford originally.
Bradford.
I went to a Muslim school. I were like out of 1,000 pupils. I was one of 15 non-Muslims in that entire school.
Really?
And
Wow.
I'm sorry to say it, but when we were kids and you had an argument with somebody, you used to call them names and what have you. We could make up all sorts of names.
Yeah.
But you go to any Islamic school and get into an argument with any of these Mohammedan lot, and they use the most disgusting and vile language against your mother, your sister, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, nah, I don't want that in my kingdom. Get out, go. You're not welcome anymore. They've well and truly overstayed their welcome. Now, everyone will say the majority of Muslims are not bad. However, the vast majority of Muslims within the British Muslim community stayed silent and did nothing to speak out about the mass rape of our children. So I'm sorry, until they can civilize themselves in a manner that we can appreciate and respect, they can all leave and they can all go live in Afghanistan, Pakistan, or any number of Islamic countries, and they can stay there until they can prove to the civilized world that they themselves can be civilized and build a society worth respecting. I'm done with all the. I've read bits of the Quran. I've seen it online. I've seen the links to it all and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Christian myself. I'm a little bit of I'm a free spirit. I'm not sure, and I don't think anybody really is regarding that. However, through all the bad that my life has had to endure, all the trials and tribulations, no matter how bad things have got, I've always managed somehow to find myself amongst people who were decent enough to show me the right path. And I didn't really need teaching that much. It's like, well, you don't disrespect people you don't know. You don't disrespect your elders. You respect your fellow man. You don't treat women like crap. If you're going to have an argument with somebody, back it up. If you're going to have a fight with somebody, fight one-on-one, and then have a pint with each other afterwards, if you can. And it's like, why are we suddenly being told that this alien culture and belief system is somehow compatible with Western values? Islam is the absolute opposite of everything Christianity and Jesus teaches. Jesus teaches be decent, be nice, do unto others, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Respect for the Christians have evolved. We've got over certain parts of our history that were incompatible with being a decent human being. Certain parts of the Bible we don't get involved with anymore. We don't adhere to. But Islam, it seems, they hate women. They have a propensity for child abuse.
Actually, I don't think they actually hate women. I think they like them too much, if you know what I mean.
I think for the Islamists and the Muslims in general, I think it's a power thing.
I think it's related to something that doesn't really get talked about, which is think about the way that they pray and the way that they submit, and then think about the way that they try and dominate women. Now, I think that there's some sort of psychological issue going on there, some sort of cognitive dissonance where they have to make up for that by being overtly masculine or overtly macho.
And if you look at the rest of the entire civilized world, even some of the cultures that we might find a bit questionable here and there, we might disagree with. You look at Islam, and I'm sorry, but that ideology and that belief system should have died a death and been wiped off the face of the earth in the last Crusades.
Binky,
it has no place in a civilized, enlightened, and free world. It is the absolute antithesis of what somebody like Jesus. I mean, I'm not a Christian myself, but I'm good friends with Jesus. We speak all the time. You know, he's a decent lad. Bit misunderstood here and there, like by a few with a devout lot, but that's by the
by. Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
See, where I live, there are no Muslims at all, and it's difficult for me to try and understand what it's like living in an area where that culture is dominant. So, what is it actually like living alongside these people?
Wow. Well, I don't live alongside them anymore, thankfully. I moved out of Bradford. Long history, but I managed to get away from Bradford, the city I grew up in. But living amongst them, they're all down with this gangster lifestyle crap, and they have no respect for you as an individual whatsoever. If they are in bigger numbers than you, they will do everything they can to belittle you and make you feel like you are nothing as a human being.
Yeah,
I've seen. I lived, like I said, I lived in Bradford. I lived in Buttershaw, which is a white working class council estate. Funnily enough, this was back in 80s, and the Cockermie School was a black lass called Clara Bell Deacon, and me and her got on brilliantly. And in the 80s, in a predominantly white school, a black lass being the toughest and the hardest one in there, well, that's an achievement in itself.
I mean, I'm really interested in the fact about what you said about the school. I mean, that to me is just completely and entirely alien, and I'm sure it was for you. And what was it actually like day to day?
It all started off okay. I mean, it were a school called Scotchman Middle School in Bradford. It had only just opened. At that time, I'd just gone into foster care. And I was living with foster parents in Heaton in Bradford, but I was still going to school every day to Buttershaw. At the time, this was when money weren't such a big issue. Social services were getting me a taxi from one side of Bradford to other side of Bradford every day to school. But then the school just up the road from me, they built a new school called Scotchman Middle School. And after a few months of me living with these foster parents, this school opened, and I was one of the first pupils through the door. Now, initially, I was about 9-10 years old at that point when I went into care. And at that time, it was just, these are just another bunch of kids my age. Everything were all right, but slowly but surely, it became like I'd go to get me dinner in canteen at dinner time, and I had a friend of mine at the time called Imran Ali. He was a devout Muslim, but I think his purpose to be friends with me was to try and convert me, because slowly but surely he'd be telling me like, oh, what are you getting non-halal stuff for? That's bad. That's really, really bad, because my choice were non-halal food in canteen.
That's a really interesting word you used there, Binky. Can I just ask you about that? Because you said the word convert there, because the reason I mention it is because to non-believers such as us, that is exactly what it seems like, isn't it? But to them,
it were basically
to them, that is their sacred duty. They have to do it, and it's just normal to them. And so for that reason, we can't kind of coexist, because to us, that seems really rude.
Yeah. At the time, it was just, he's introducing me to his culture and stuff. I was just, like I said, I was just a kid. I knew nothing about Islam. I knew nothing about Pakistani kids, Indian kids, any of that kind of stuff. Because, like I said, I was born in Wibsey and went to Buttershaw Middle School when my mum and dad split up. And like I said,
you didn't know anything of this culture at all at that point.
Yeah, it were basically, and I think, looking back, I think it was the old shock of me being in foster care kind of overrode the cultural shock of me going in and being surrounded by like 99% Muslim kids.
That's quite
there were more pressing concerns on me, on my consciousness. So I kind of just went along with it. But I did find after a while that looking back now as an adult, I can see the signs of how they were trying to slowly indoctrinate me into and get me onto their side, rather than accepting me as an individual child and what I wanted to do and my dreams and aspirations. It would always, instead of learning French in this school, we're gonna put you in Urdu class. You're gonna learn Urdu. And it was like, all right, fine, whatever. I didn't really have a way to think that were any wrong at the time. It was just right. Okay, well, obviously, I'm in a predominantly Muslim school. Best language to learn is Urdu because you all speak Urdu.
Yeah.
But looking back, and I noticed this more specifically when I went to Bradford University back in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bradford's a big Muslim community, and the university is it's 90% local Muslims and foreign Muslims coming in and doing whatever courses.
Sounds like a foreign country.
Well, now that I'm living in a predominantly English town, looking at it, I can sit back and look at places like Bradford and Burnley and Manchester, especially Birmingham as well, and think, wow, there is definitely no integration there. They are here to take over, and they've said it themselves.
Pinky, would you say that having moved out from the city, I'm guessing you probably haven't moved that far away from the city, so that would kind of fit my theory. That only the cities are gone. If you go outside of them, you find very few Muslims whatsoever. Hey, Ace, how are you doing?
Hey,
I mean, sorry. Good evening. Hi, sorry, I'm talking a lot. I do apologise.
No,
you're good. You're good. I've actually been listening for like 5-10 minutes, Chief. You said you don't really have much understanding of the thing to do with the kids in Pakistan and all that sort of stuff. I've actually done a few videos recently. One of them is actually a documentary for anyone that wants to learn about just how dark Pakistan actually is. Go onto my channel, you'll see it. It's about 45 minutes long. I will put out a trigger warning. It's on the video itself. If you've had any form of abuse as a child, I strongly recommend that you do not watch the content, and you do not watch the content with children in the room either. Yeah,
this is how I one of the reasons why I started getting to the position where I am now is because I was in foster care because of an abusive family, and it were only later on as an adult that I suddenly realised, especially with my interactions with the Muslim community, this whole idea of grooming, it's because of my personal experience with what I went through as a child. And anybody who's been through that, I think you can. They're only very subtle signs, and you can't really explain them most of the time until the grooming becomes even more extensive. But initially, it's just the little things that they drop in and sort of like guide you slowly but surely into their way of thinking, making you out to be a friend and palling up to and all this.
And from last time, and this is something that Wiz said that I thought was really, really important, and how he mentioned how we'd had a discussion earlier in the week about growing his beard and growing his hair and all of that kind of thing in his experience.
Wait, sorry, Jake. I'm not trying to be rude. I have literally only just looked at Wiz's. Where's your hair, Wiz?
Yeah, he got it cut.
He's still got it.
Wait, what?
Have you had it cut?
It's still there.
It's in a ponytail.
Yeah, it's
Ponytail.
Ah, dude, that looks awesome. I think it's the hair down though.
Now
you look like a Viking. You don't look like a wizard anymore. You look like a.
Yeah, that's what I was on the floor.
Yeah,
people are like, "Oh, it's the Viking." Like, yeah, that's what they call me, Ragnar the Viking. So
Sorry.
it used to be quite good walking up to people like this in the pubs. They're like, "Oh shit, is it me?" I used to see the fear in their face.
Like,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jake. I literally just noticed it, and I was like, "Oh my god, he shaved his hair off." Sorry, mate.
You've illustrated one of the points I was going to make, actually, which is when you have Chrissy who's constantly interrupting whilst you're speaking, it's really infuriating. Obviously, when you have people who you're more familiar with, then you might speak over them a bit because you get excited about something, and that's perfectly fine. That's a normal conversation. It's not trying to intimidate someone. And that's why I thought what Wiz said was really important, because you mentioned how we'd discussed some things earlier in the week and how you didn't feel comfortable talking about that with Chrissy. And that's precisely because they're bringing the wrong attitude to things. And that's why I thought it was good that Binky a moment ago, is felt comfortable enough to say what had been happening. It's important that, you create and keep that space, nice and safe for people so that they can come on here. They can be serious. They can have a laugh as well and, feel comfortable. So that I'm really glad that you could do that.
Exactly. This is why I have always, no matter what situation I'm in life, I've always been open, honest, and a lot of people get put off by it. I've noticed in past when I'd start talking about my childhood and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, why are you openly talking about that? That's somewhat personal." It's like, well,
it's uncomfortable for people.
To you, it's uncomfortable, but to me, it's my life. And
Binky,
the more we talk about it normally, like you say, the less hostile people feel about coming out and maybe talking about things that they've wanted to talk about but not had the opportunity or the courage or the strength to before. So I jovially go, we're all this, that, and other, but obviously it's a serious thing. But I managed to develop, and it was through. Good news. I know you were going to ask me something a minute ago. I'll just get that.
No, just want you to know, don't ever feel uncomfortable. Certainly not when I'm in chat. We're talking about foster care or adoption or any of that stuff. I'm actually adopted myself, so it's nice to have the opportunity to talk to someone that's also been through the system. So I
will put on adoption register, and I think I got visited by about 3 different potential families, and nobody wanted me, so I ended up in foster care until I was 18.
I'm really sorry to hear that. I've got another friend called Martin who's
I have
same
found,
position.
I have found, and I know, and I'm not belittling this in any way, shape, or form. A family environment is the most important thing for a child's development, for safety and security, and for learning about the adult world. And I fully respect and understand that. But from my point of view, I have kind of been afforded with a different perspective whereby I'm not necessarily obliged to anybody, any particular group, any particular family, or any particular tribe. So I can more freely express from an outside
wandering spirit,
what's going on and how I perceive what's going on, and potentially point out any failings, and also any parts of that particular tribe or family that I see might actually benefit them if they did a certain thing. But, I can give them opinions and then points of view without being tied down, I suppose. So
it's a really good thing, though. Then you're a renegade, a free-thinking person.
Yeah, I'm like a jack of all trades and a jack of all tribes. So,
see, I don't like to like when Chrissy accused me of being far right the other day, which is quite funny. I don't.
What's wrong with being far right? What is wrong with
I'm not left
right
or
nothing?
right.
I've got an answer to that shuts every argument down.
Far right, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone is entitled to their political opinions. If you want to be far right,
yeah, that's spot on.
Well, no
because it's been redefined. That's the problem with it. It used to mean literally a Nazi or a murdering fascist from a 20th century style one, or it meant someone who was one of the 70s or 80s skinheads.
Yeah, do you know the problem that we have?
It just means someone who doesn't like immigration or someone who doesn't agree with the government's thing.
Actually, in the Houses of Parliament, when it used to be a church, that's what all the pews are. I learnt this from Ben Habib. And also it was that people used to sit on the left and people used to sit on the right. But now it is more globalist and nationalist.
You're exactly right. And that tradition comes from France.
That's right. Yeah,
revolution. Yeah.
I think my response to anybody who regards me as far right, instead of getting into a conversation with them and getting all defensive, I just turn around and say, I'm not far left. I'm not far right. I'm just an Englishman in his own country that's trying to live a good life. End of story. End of discussion. You want to put labels on me? That's a you problem. That is not anything that should be hindering or hampering my existence as an Englishman in my own country. And this kind of stuff was getting straight onto this. Yeah. Oh my God, I praise the likes of Donald Trump and Israel and the IDF and what they are doing to.
You're like my channel.
Suicide bomber when you want one, is there?
Oh no! Never mind.
I've been saying it's a shame you haven't got shark-infested waters.
No.
Where's a great white when you need one?
We've got badgers.
Here's one better. Now I'm not inciting this at all.
No, of course
I'm not inciting violence. I'm not inciting hatred or anything. I'm going to put it in the realms of the creative mind. This is an idea for a film, right? Okay. So I'm not inciting anything. How about this for a film? The camera starts panning over a group of these devil worshippers like this in this field.
Devil's minions.
The camera flies over, but you realise it's a little drone and it's being flown by a couple of little English kids, and they're sat on the hilltop on the other side, and these two little kids are laughing with each other, and then one of them goes, "Do it, go on, do it." So his mate presses his button, and from underneath this drone, there's a water balloon filled with pig's blood. And it's like, well, you can pick these drones up for £100 and a pack of water balloons. You can
do that quite easily.
You can get pig's blood from your local butcher. Just buy some black pudding and liquefy it, fill it with water balloons.
Oh.
They want to insult this green and pleasant land with that clear intent to dominate and display us as English people on our land.
Then you want to know why. You want to know why they're all here.
The English are going to begin to hate. I don't know if you know that poem. It's who's it by? I've used the quote a lot of times recently. Talking to people on X about
trigger Elsa Akbar for sure.
And it's an old English poem by someone like Edgar Allan Poe or something. If you look it up and type in when the English begin to hate.
Oh, Rudyard Kipling.
Oh, yeah, that's a famous one. That's a famous one.
Yeah, and we are getting to that point, and no amount of laws, no amount of police battering down your door and carting you off to prison for tweeting is going to stop it. We are a proud people, both the English, the Irish, the Scottish, and Welsh. We love helping each other out and building. We drag this civilization kicking and screaming into the 21st century.
On that
We've shown the absolute compassion in the face of the most absolute vile attacks against us.
You do realize
that time is coming to an end.
Yeah. So you do realize
I ain't UKIP, I ain't BNP, I ain't National Front. I'm just an Englishman that's saying enough's enough.
Yeah.
You keep telling us to turn the other cheek, and I'm sorry to all the Christians out there, but we've turned our cheeks enough, and it's starting to hurt a little bit.
Yeah. You do realize.
What do you think we should do about it? What would be a workable solution for the problem that we've got? Do you think?
Well, I'll
restore.
I'll start with this.
Vote restore.
Vote restore.
I'm sorry, but Nigel has flip-flopped more times than I can. More hands and toes that I've got. He's flip-flopped on immigration. He's now saying the exact words that Rupert Lowe was booted from the party. Detain and deport. That's literally what Rupert got kicked out for. What the fuck?
Here's something you might not know about Nigel.
And it's between Reform and the Greens. Well, if the Greens get in, that image on the screen is what we're going to have.
There is one difficulty with your solution, Ace, which is that would involve having to get 326 seats in Parliament in 3 years, which is no one has ever even got close to that. And I agree with you that the right solution, but
Jesus, our Lord and Savior, him and his team are parked up down the road waiting to come back.
The old JC, yes, my friends.
They are sat there waiting, and they're saying basically, give us a call and we'll come. And my response is to every single red-blooded English, Irish, Scottish and Welsh person is, you make that stand now, and it might get a little bit bloody, because these people, these mass prayers, I'd start with getting restoring to government, and then I'd set up a department similar to Prevent, and I'd go, right, after October the 7th and what happened to Israel on that day, before Israel even had a chance to get its trousers on and respond, there were tens of thousands of people on streets of the UK protesting against Israel. Right, we deport every single one of them. We drag them kicking and screaming back at paddy wagons, and we get rid of them. Because when the English start taking back their land, these are the first kind of people who are going to start butchering every single one of them.
Binky, I agree. But if you do that, they're all going to kick off, aren't they?
Well, let them kick off.
Jake, right, Jake, wait.
This is not going to be an easy solution.
Binky,
no, just one
thing.
Yeah,
right?
I get
this one. No, you are an absolute legend. I could listen to you talking all day long. You clearly know what you're talking about. And
but she's saying, shut up.
Presuming are a man of the book. I am a lady of the book. So when it comes
to the first proper conversation I've had with anybody in 10 years.
Good.
When it comes to Islam, if you're a man of the book, you should be aware of the end time prophecies. In the end times, Christian persecution will go through the roof.
Well,
truths will be called lies. Wait 1 second. Truths will be called lies, and lies will be called truths. There's the talk of the big devil and the little devil. Well, you've got the big devil, Saudi Arabia, and you've got the little devil, Iran, currently. Hopefully we can get back to being Persia.
Can I just interject 1 second there? I don't like... I'm not saying I'm just saying
going
that...
back in history is where you need to be looking. Yeah. Every time the force of Islam has tried to enter the West, it's got a little way, and then it's had this massive resistance because Christian faith has brought into this world. The reason pederasty does not exist anymore it does, but it's outlawed. It's not something we teach our children is okay.
We don't hide the perverts away, and
that came from Christianity. That came from Christianity. Like
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry,
like I have no doubt we are in the end times. No doubt whatsoever. Like
that's what I
just look at the world. Look at the world.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, because I I don't doubt that that's what you believe in, and I don't doubt that there are these images in the Bible, because I know there are, because I've read Revelation.
No one knows the day or the hour. That's what we've been told.
What I would say is, there are many people on many occasions who have said that beforehand. Obviously, sooner or later, someone's going to be right. But what is it that makes you think that this moment is more right than any other time in history?
Because that's what faith gives you. You just know. It's not something you can quantify with human words. It's a feeling that has no words. You just know. It's an unexplainable certainty.
If you flip this on its head, if you flip it from the other on its head and play the devil's advocate, right, then Iran could look at Trump as the big devil and Iran as the little devil. So therefore, it does translate both ways.
This is what the devil does. This is exactly what the devil does. The Quran and the Hadith are meant to be linked to the Abrahamic faiths. The true Abrahamic faiths are Judaism and Christianity. Islam, the Kaaba predates Islam. It's actually a pagan center of worship that used to house one main god for that particular area. And then all of the other gods that had their own Kaabas in the other areas would have their own little idol in each one. But one Kaaba was dedicated to the god they praised in that area. Hubal was a Syriac idol that was brought down from Assyria down into Petra. That was then taken from Petra down into Mecca, where Muhammad then destroyed all of the idols. But his family, the Qurayshi tribe, they followed Hubal before Muhammad destroyed all of the idol stuff going on there and replaced obviously his religion. But Islam doesn't even understand why it walks around the Kaaba 7 times, kissing a black stone in order to cleanse your sins is pagan. It is You are placing all of the power in a stone. No, God is the only one alone that has the ability to forgive your sins, not kissing a stone.
And the idol worship of Muhammad as well.
So, yeah, and beware the false prophet. Muhammad, his specific word is that Jesus wasn't even nailed to the cross. We've all been lied to. We were tricked into thinking it was Jesus. There's suspicion it might have actually been his brother. I can't remember what his name is. Yeah, James. And that he didn't die. He didn't resurrect. That places Islam as quite literally the Antichrist. Their whole religion preaches against Christ. So that's why I have so much faith.
I would add to it, though.
The stark differences to.
I agree.
Sorry, Jake. It's a subject I could rant about all day.
I know.
Yeah,
it's really good to hear, and I agree with you, and you're absolutely right in what you're saying there. One thing I would add to it is, if we're looking at it from a modern perspective, we have to remember that these people think that the book is a miracle and that the prophet is the perfect example of mankind. Now, I'm not being funny, but the perfect example of mankind is not a serial rapist, murderer, and genocidal maniac. That is the last person I would look to for advice.
Preach it. Can we get an amen in the room? Amen.
And I'm not religious, but if I had a choice between Jesus or Muhammad, there's no competition in which.
This is why Jesus is my mate. I talk to him all the time. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Jew. I'm not anything like that. But me and Jesus are best mates, and we come up with all manner of ways that we could punish Muhammad if he were alive today. And trust me, Jesus is a nice guy, but he's got some very, very dark ways of dealing with evil. I think
Islam's false, and it's easily provable to be false.
Islam's in the Bible.
Well, for Islam to be true, that would mean that Christianity and Judaism both have to be false, which can't be true because the Quran itself states that both the Torah and the New Gospel were true at the point in which Muhammad confirmed them as having authority and delivered by Allah. So for Islam to be true, that means that Christianity is true and Islam is false, because Christianity says Jesus was crucified. Islam says he wasn't. So
and let's not forget as well, this is just some bloke in a cave who thinks that he saw an angel, although he might have had an epileptic fit or he might have had a period of insanity. And yet, and when he first mentioned this to, I think it was his uncle, he confirmed that it was, I don't think he confirmed that it was an angel. I think he confirmed that it was some other type of message.
It was his auntie, yeah.
I think that angel that visited Muhammad, if indeed that kind of power exists, I believe that the angel that visited Muhammad told him basically that he's a vile and despicable man, and that he should go and take his own life because he's never getting anywhere near heaven. And I think what Muhammad did with that, which you'll find quite a lot of Muslims do it as well, they spin whatever you say to make it sound as though they're the good person.
Taqiyya.
Muhammad came out of that cave, and instead of going, oh, one of God's messengers has just judged me as being a bad man, I need to change my ways. What he did was came out of that cave and went, do you know what? Fuck that! I'm gonna say that angel came and gave me inspiration and told me that I need to continue doing all these vile things and turn it into a massive religion. I think that's exactly what happens, because most Muslims do the same. They lie through their back teeth to make themselves sound like they are.
It's not all lies. Wait. That's not a very Christian thing to say. It's not all lies, because sometimes they actually believe what they're saying, which means it's not a lie to them. It's a truth to them.
That's a good point.
It seems like a lie to us because we know the truth and they don't know the truth. Therefore,
this is why
the untruths that they speak, they think are truth when they're not.
Well, this is why I say that they should all be deported until they can figure it out themselves in their own time, or as far away from me, my family, my children, and my fellow countrymen as possible. Until they can learn.
But how do we do it?
Well, firstly,
it's going to get to a stage where, because of what's happening One thing we can all do, and it seems relatively benign, but I believe in prayer. I pray for the Muslims on a regular basis to discover Jesus. I genuinely do. I genuinely do, because they have. But think about it: if those young children, instead of being brought up on the Quran, were brought up on Christianity and Judaism, would they be the same? I would say
that's the question that we can't answer, really, isn't it? It's a difficult one.
Well, no, we can answer it. It's just never really happened, Jake. That's the problem. You don't have Muslim parents and then bring your child up as a Christian. It just doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
No, what we need to do is
they are just as
hang on.
They are just as
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry. One thing, like, Jews killed Jesus. No, don't be silly. But what you want about
that's actually true, by the way. That's actually true.
They want the Jews. It was a Roman, and
it was the Romans that killed him.
Why would
under the instruction of the Jews? Under the instruction of the Jews, Pontius Pilate actually said that he didn't want to crucify. Yeah, he didn't want to crucify. The decision was given back to the Jews. They called it.
All right, okay.
They were the ones.
Thing, isn't it? But
someone nailed
Paul wants to report this chat. I mean, how can you report the chat when you're talking about facts and people's opinions?
Yeah, anyone can Google anything I've said.
Yeah, we're having an opinion. We're having a discussion about things, and we have heated opinions and different opinions, and some of them opinions might not be tasteful to some people, but tough.
Nobody's inciting hatred. Nobody's stirring up violence or hatred towards anybody. People are expressing their free will of choice of language and vocabulary and expressing an opinion, which we're allowed to do. We're allowed to criticize religions. We're certainly allowed to criticize Islam because it's written quite clearly in the anti-Muslim hostility bill that came out. So it's perfectly fine. If people want to report things that are said in the chat, then they should really grow a pair and try and man up a bit.
Yeah. I just thought it was shocking that somebody didn't even say that. I mean, Christ. But anyway, carry on.
I always say, you know, you actually want to be thankful that you've got the right to feel offended. Because if you didn't have the right to feel offended, that would mean you can't actually truly say whatever you want to say. And there's going to be times when you do just need to get something off of your chest, and you may say something quite in a way that you didn't mean to say it, but you still said it. So,
and Pat manned up about it.
Stephen Fry said it perfectly, done it. He says something along the lines of, so you take offence at something I've said, so what? It's that's a feeling. So what? You take offence at something I've said, deal.
Offence is taken, not given. Thank you.
And it's also not against the law to cause offence.
No. It will be soon, once Starmer gets done with ushering in Sharia law and all that.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Do you know what, Binky? If I don't know if anyone else thinks about this stuff, I do. I wonder if he's thought about where he's going to live once he's not holding a seat anymore. Because
you know what?
he's going to get publicly fucking
He'll be
lynched.
moving abroad for sure.
I'm not inciting violence against the Prime Minister, just to make that clear. But I can see the public. I can see the public putting tyres around him and setting him on fire. To be honest, that's what I can see.
He'll probably move to Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that.
Oh. Well, by the time we're done with the IRGC in Iran, and this is another thing as well, I don't like it when people say the Iranians, because it's not the Iranians that we're fighting against. It's the Islamic regime in Iran.
So Iran is a two-sided coin. You've got a large Muslim population that are not native to the country. You then have the Persians, the true Iranians, the Iranians are the true Persians. Muslims are not Persian; they are Islamic. Persians.
I don't get about this whole idea that they have to get rid of colonialism in England. It's like, well, hold on, the Islamic community are colonizing everywhere that they go.
Well, I was just about to say, Binky, in fact, actually, the Islamic Golden Age that they like to refer to is really just simply the fact that they conquered Persia and stole all of their mathematics. That's basically...
but the funny thing is...
I would like to just mention that I taught a couple
He's not the father of algebra. It's an Italian. Not an Italian, sorry, a Greek. He's the father, true father. He was the one that
Golden Age of Islam came to an end when one of their mullahs convinced a large group of the Muslims at that time that math was the work of the devil. And at that point, when you do that, you've lost any and all grounds to continue as a civilized society.
It's very hard to keep track of anything if he thinks math is the work of the devil. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson that did a lecture on it.
How would he know? Oh, look, a finger's just fallen off. Oh, do I need to do something about it? Oh no, I've still got lots of others. Like what?
Well, I taught a couple of girls.
Oh look, a leg fell off.
This was about, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. And they were taken out of the country because obviously of the trouble that was there, and then, you know, the parents wanted to get them out of the country to make them safe. So they were sneaked out, sent to go and live with their uncle in England. And there were two girls. One, I think, the younger one was 11, the older one was about 13, 14. They came here not knowing a word of English, and within 6 months, the older one was ready to sit the English GCSE. It was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely lovely. The uncle was really very, very kind, very supportive man. And that's when I first really realised that the problems that were happening in Iran, because we only ever hear it's bad. We don't really get to see the human side of it. And, you know, to actually see that in front of you brings it home.
Have you watched any of Goldie, Gauldi? She's done a few streams with Tusi. She's covering Iran at the moment. She's over in Canada, I think, at the moment.
There's Goldie, and there's another lad she does streams with. I watch them all the time. And,
yeah, he's a legend. I can see his face as well.
Yeah, I watch them all the time, and seeing all these leftists and these Islamists banging on about how we're bombing Iran and we're killing all this, that, and other. But then if you look at the people actually in Iran, the Muslims. When the bombs are flying over and the missiles are coming in, they're on streets celebrating.
Yeah,
Tens of thousands, 90% of the population of Iran are cheering every time we take out and that thing with the they started introducing drones, didn't they? Taking out the IRGC checkpoints. Oh, that was it's them Jews again. Like
when was the last time you put the news on and you didn't have some bloody wailing woman dressed in black on there? I can't remember a time when that hasn't featured. Every day, woman in black wailing away in Arabic. We don't need to hear that.
Well, they say, have you seen
the foreign invasion?
Thousands of women, Muslim women, holding the little children up. Saying,
mate, yeah. There's a festival to do with that once a year in Palestine. They take their babies in little onesies, like that you put a baby in, with baby grows. And they got wings stitched on their back, and the mother holds the baby up into the sky, saying all this stuff to Allah. And what's the actual?
See, like I said, I love the family security of the family circuit, the mother, father, child, and what have you. But when it comes to saying stuff like that, I would seriously advocate for removing that child from them parents and putting them in a proper environment where they can grow up to be decent, free-thinking human beings.
There aren't any of those in Palestine because, they all are like that.
Well, even
it's normal.
TV shows are about killing Jews. I don't know if you've ever seen any clips of it, but their equivalent of Sesame Street literally has them doing things like
bro. That is twisted.
It is.
I'm sorry, but whatever, no matter what you believe in, stuff like that is pure and unadulterated evil.
It is, and that's
there's no question about it. There's none of this nuance. It's all depending on the culture. It's all depending on this. No, it's pure evil.
Not all cultures are equal. Correct. That is such a ridiculous statement.
I'm sorry, but the British culture, the English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh, we are by far the most superior culture on the face of this planet that has been around, that has ever been. There's no, apart from the Persian kings who brought in the Bill of Rights and stuff for human rights, didn't they? I think it were
Cyrus.
Cyrus the Great. Is it Cyrus the Great? Yeah. He was the one who brought in human rights for his people.
Yeah.
And I think we might have taken that, or we might have independently come up with that ourselves. Either way, we
kind of picked and borrowed from all over the world. We kind of took a smidgen of democracy or the idea of it from the Greeks and a smidgen of this from over there, and we sort of squashed it all together and made Britain.
This is how you make a decent meal.
I love
you
this
take all kinds of different ingredients and you bang them all together, and it either comes out a load of shit or it comes out to be the best meal you've ever eaten. And Britain, the United Kingdom is the best meal that this ungrateful world has ever had the opportunity to partake in.
I agree with that, and I would add to it that the thing that makes it the best system is because it is an organic system that is constantly evolving. It's not like Islam that's fixed 1,400 years ago and can't be changed. Ours constantly adapts to circumstance, and that takes time, and it doesn't always match up with what's going on with the public. But usually in Britain, we get things right, and that's why I'm sure that we're going to find a way to sort this mess out, because throughout our history, we've faced crises before. We've managed to legislate our way out of it, or we've managed to find ways to deal with it. So we've got to do the same thing here. We've got to use our culture, our customs, our values, and particularly our laws in order to state our case and to actually stand up and say to these people no, because we're not afraid of them. Let's be honest, most of us, if we think about Islam, we don't find it fearful. We find it funny. It's so stupid that you just want to laugh at it. It just seems like a shit knockoff of Christianity, like a really shit knockoff of a piece of clothing with spelling mistakes and things like that.
They've got hymns in there and they're saying that it's actual scripture. No, they're hymns. They're not. That's not scripture. Hymns are not scripture.
Yes, they don't understand how things.
There's lots of Apparently, the Quran once was Quranic, like laid out in a chronological order, and then somewhere down the line, it was unchronologicalized, if that's even a word.
Now let's
take it out of time
and
mixed up and mashed up for some reason.
Like a puzzle that somebody decides, you know what, this is
but
going
it's
to be
perfectly preserved.
Well, as someone that studied literature for about, God knows, 30 years, I can assure you that one of the last things you'd ever want to do is rearrange the chronological order of it, because then it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So whoever did that,
that's literally what happened.
I would imagine.
Right. So there's
you know what I
a
think
guy
happened,
called
Ace?
Jay
They're
Smith.
so stupid. I think someone dropped it on the floor and they just picked it up and put it back in that order.
There's actually something quite specific. So if you look at the Arabic language, obviously that's on a root or a branch off of Aramaic, which has dots in it. Yeah. And some parts of the Aramaic, when it's translated into Arabic, the dots are either there or they're not there.
Yeah.
So I learned this from a guy that really, like, he's got degrees in Islam and philosophy and all sorts. Dr. Jay Smith, you've probably heard of him. But he dissects the Quran in, like, I don't know how he does it, but he was stating that he's the one that came up with or really got out there the Quranic dilemma, or the Islamic dilemma, which is about the Islam's false because of Christianity proving that Islam's. Anyway, I had something and I completely forgot what it was. I hate my brain. It's ADHD as fuck. I have it's really annoying.
A video on YouTube proving that Muhammad is actually mentioned in the Bible.
He's not. No, he's not.
Oh, he is.
He's not.
I'll tell you exactly how you do it.
Only via a child of Ishmael. There is no name of Muhammad in the Bible. There's MHMD.
This is a Takia thing again.
MHMD is in the Bible, but that's not representative of Muhammad. It's actually a Jewish word that we don't have a word for.
False prophets.
We have letters.
No, this will blow your mind. This will blow you away. If you look in the Bible and take every time that it mentions Satan and change change that to Muhammad.
I knew you were going there. I knew.
I've the video proof is on YouTube. I put it. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be a bit cheeky. And I'll put it together myself and put it on YouTube. It's only had about 40 views. But I keep posting it on all the Christian channels in America, hoping that they'll take the bait and go, well, that makes perfect sense, to be fair.
Do you like David Wood?
He's very good at what he does.
He's hilarious. He does it in the right way, like with a bit of humour. I love it. There's that saying that obviously you hear Muslims saying all the time, Allahu Akbar.
Oh yeah.
Because of the video that he put out.
Yeah, I do know that guy.
Every time I hear Allahu Akbar, I hear Al-Zut Akbar, because he made this video about the Al-Zut.
Every time I hear about Akbar, all I'm thinking is somebody is basically declaring that they're going to come in, take over my land, rape my kids, rape my wife, and behead me. That's all I hear when I hear the words Allahu Akbar.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that.
I tell you what, they better hope that they better hope that they're right about Jesus, because if they're not right about Jesus gonna be mad.
He's pissed off.
He's not going to be best pleased, is he?
I speak to him on a regular occasion, and he's
Jesus
fuming.
Said, don't kill.
He keeps telling me, saying, "Look, I've got the wrath of my Father at my disposal. I'm itching to use it," and I'm like, "No, you're not your dad. He does his thing, you do your thing. He's
got the wrath of his dad.
But let me just interject there. What about people such as myself and Richard, who are agnostic and see God as a different entity to the one in the Christian Bible? How are we going to be consoled by the thought of somebody that we don't believe in coming back to save us?
Me personally.
So the Bible says, Jake, just one quick thing. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is our God. like doesn't matter whether, and the end times cannot pass until the gospel has been spread to every person. So we are supposed to spread the gospel, but it's not something I particularly do because I'm not.
It's not proselytizing like Islam, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. Like,
I'm of the belief, looking at all the evidence, looking at human history, looking at all these cultures, looking at what we've been through, what we've gone through, and what we've achieved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm slowly coming to the belief that this whole end times thing is not going to happen how it's written in holy books. I think the reason why a lot of people are turning to this end times thing is because if you look at all possible probabilities and outcomes of a given situation and a given environment, you tend to come once like the rise in violence, the rise in war and poverty and rich getting richer and all that. If you look at it all and go, well, where is all this leading? If we don't do something about it, where is it all leading? And it essentially leads to the end of humanity, our civilization.
What I was getting earlier, Binky, when I mentioned that this isn't the first time that people have predicted the end times. So, for example, during the Second World War, there would have been an increase in belief, just the same as we're experiencing now, because people want to feel that there's some sort of sense of comfort. That's not to say that Christian beliefs are wrong. It's just psychologically, that's why people do it.
I think Christianity and Judaism are the closest thing that we as humans have ever got to being able to touch the face of God himself.
I would disagree with that, and I'll tell you why I would disagree with it, because I think that the holy books are a record of what people believed religion was at that particular time. I actually think it's a much, much older belief that is being passed on orally, and a lot of it has been lost over time. So the very basic essence of what is in the holy books is true, but the actual major story around it, a lot of it has been lost and adapted and changed. I think it's only a fragment of the true story.
It all leads to one conclusion.
Can I ask just one, Binky, just pause 1 sec, Jake, because you're... Can I just ask one question? Why is it every ancient civilization talks about a great flood? Every single one of them that we have.
I think they were localized. I think they were localized. I mean, if it was a world flood and everything was flooded, then obviously the remains of the ark would have been on top of Mount Everest.
I agree with what Richard has said.
What happened?
Richard is right though, because when people mention
would it be on Everest?
At that time, remember that their world wasn't the world that we know now. It was much smaller because they didn't have the means to travel as we do. So that's why I think Richard is right that it was localized, but that doesn't mean though that there wasn't localized flooding across the globe.
Yeah.
Okay. So second question then. How come every single ancient religion also has the same tale of a bringer of knowledge? And how is it the ancient Egyptians knew that there were 9 planets, yet we can only see 3 of them with the human eye?
Because I think most of the knowledge was lost during the fire in that library.
If you dig down to a certain level, if you dig down to a certain level of sediment anywhere across the world, scientists have actually been looking for it in the most random of places, and they found it, minus obviously Arctica and Antarctica. There is a scorch layer of the planet.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole planet was on fire.
Right.
Well, what I would say to your question is that it's more a case of it's not.
I don't think time is what we perceive it to be.
Yeah, I don't.
And God is not what Christianity paints it as. It's far too basic to even comprehend what God is. Anything you could think is God, put it in there because that's God. Like
you could even argue that maybe God is just all of the things that we don't know.
For thousands of years, we were seeing more of the universe than we were in the 20th and 21st century or the 18th century. You've got there's an ancient culture. I think it's they call them is it the Bogdan tribe or the Bogan tribe? They have drawings that they etched onto their caves and their
yes, they have, yes, in France,
of a star system. I think it's a binary star system that we only recently, through scientific advancements, could actually see with a telescope. Now, my answer to that is the reason why that
how
is
did the Egyptians know that we had 9 planets? How did the Egyptians know we had 9 planets?
This is what
back then, one of the most obvious and beautiful pastimes that we humans indulged in was to spend hours under a starlit sky at night and observing with our own eyes the millions and billions of stars up there. And slowly over time, we realized that certain ones were moving in a certain direction, in a certain order. Some of them seemed closer than others. And we figured that out just by looking up at the night sky.
Funny you should say that, Binky.
You can't see.
There were no television to watch in them days.
Yeah,
what made my belief in God certain was, in fact, when I bought a telescope and I looked up at the night sky, because it's just so amazing that there has to be something more to it. But I don't think that it's this very human representation that we see in the Bible and in the other holy books. I think that it's something is far beyond what we can consider, and it's more a system of how things interact and work together than it is some sort of moralizing human that is telling everyone you need to do this. All that stuff is just common sense, I think.
Yeah, the end times and the second coming is basically going to be the moment when we become an extraplanetary species, and we find out that we are not alone in the universe, and we have that first contact, and because of our level of understanding,
Trump thinks we're not.
To us, we are going to perceive this alien race and these alien civilizations as being godlike, because their technology will be so advanced. It'll be so advanced that we won't have any comprehension of how to comprehend it, other than going back to our basic human.
Yeah, it will appear to be magic,
and we'll get back to this idea that it's God. We're seeing God. We're seeing the face of God, when in fact we're not. It's just the next step that we're seeing.
And that would be something that would be very easy to do if, for example, there were a world shortage of oil and nobody had any energy, and then suddenly it manages to come back because someone can save us with free energy. Then that would completely transform the way that people see the world.
Here's an interesting one for you. Since everybody found out that you could put
back in Tesla.
So here's an interesting one for you. Has anybody checked out the price of sunflower oil just recently? Is it the same price per litre as it is for diesel? Because I can get some vegetable oil, which
Randall Carlson. Yeah, that's his name. Got it.
Yeah, so I noticed that the price of corn oil, just sunflower oil, matched the price of diesel when everybody was talking about you can put sunflower oil in a diesel engine, and I tried it and it does work.
Yeah.
You can even use used chip fat. True, you smell like a burning sausage. But it's regrowable, but of course it's illegal to put in your cars.
The police used to pull up outside petrol stations in Bradford and check all the taxis that came in, because they were using either red diesel or sunflower oil in with it, mixed in with. I think it's one part diesel to 2 parts vegetable oil. Because my mate used to do it.
You can just
like a chippy.
It'll run just on raw. If you pour a bit of paraffin in, then you're actually really illegal, because then it smells like diesel that you're burning.
There's a whole different life to me, as I can't drive, so I've got no idea.
Yeah, it's true, Jake. Honestly, it is true. You can just pour like 5 litres of vegetable oil in your car. But they've made it it's no longer financially viable, because the price of sunflower oil goes up and down with the price of diesel.
I was just going to say what this guy.
Apparently, it's Russia's fault.
And Ukraine's sunflower oil is poison for humans. Yeah, any seed oil. Avoid eating any seed oils. It's really, really bad for inflammation and your immune system.
That explains my
virgin olive oil. That's your best oil to be consuming.
Yeah. Well, even then they start mixing that with vegetable oil.
Yeah, I know.
If you go for the cheaper, that the £5.70 per litre one, that's still half bloody sunflower oil or palm oil if you're not careful.
If the oil is prevented from getting out from Iran and there is a global shortage, then there will be rationing, and life as we know it would completely fall apart because everyone is just so used to doing everything on the internet.
Oh, this is why when I started my new life, the first thing that I did was turn my garden into a workshop. I can now weld, I can do woodwork, I can laser engrave. I've got my attic set up with a laser engraver. I've got a wood lathe behind me, behind that flag in that little cupboard. I've got a wood lathe. I decided,
right, off to Binkies then. When it all goes to shit, we're all going to Binkies.
I've got
my hand's a little bit tall, but I can
Let's go.
I've got a metalworking lathe that used to be my dad's, and he spun steam engines up and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. I'd love a metalworking lathe.
It's for sale. It's for sale, but you have to come and pick it up. It's about 1/4 ton, mate.
Oh yeah, I've only got a Rover 75. It won't fit in boot.
This is a Myford ML2.
Oh, Myford, the ultimate. A friend of mine.
He's put a washing machine motor on it. There was a conveyor belt, a fan belt on it, like just to spin all gears. It's got a thread cutting thing on it. There is one of the teeth on the on the sliding bed. There's one of the teeth that's broke.
A friend of mine, my best friend when I lived in Bradford, was a C-clad called.
Back in a minute, I'm just going for a.
And
I literally was just about to roll on myself, lol.
My mate Darshan, he got himself a Myford metal lathe, and I swear, why that guy is not the leading scientific advisor for the United Kingdom right now, I don't know, because he's a genius. Yeah. I've not seen him for years. We had a bit of a falling out, but I still love the guy. Yeah. And he got this Myford lathe. He bought himself some stepper motors. Spent weeks on eBay. At the time, mobile phones were only just becoming popular. Yeah. So he'd spend weeks scrolling through the internet looking for the right kind of stepper motors and the right kind of computer. He got Linux set up on an old computer next to it, and he turned this 1950s Myford metal lathe into an automatic CNC lathe, and it was genius. Genius.
I know how to do that. Just with print port, on the back of the old PCs where you used to get your print port, the LPT port,
the serial port.
Yeah, I used to program that. So I actually had this LED matrix display, and it would light up all these LEDs live on the fly as you were clicking the LEDs on and off on the software. It would then start lighting them up on this screen light, on this LED screen, just through through the LPT point. Yeah.
We've got the makings of a proper little survivalist community.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a woodwork yard. This lass here, Helen, saying that she grows her own veg, so she can grow our food. We can fix everything.
Yeah,
we could do.
You won't believe this as well. I've got loads of
survivalist compound.
Yeah, I've got loads of little scrap bits and bobs on back garden as well. I've got microwaves. Believe it or not, if you cut a microwave transformer in half and then get the magnets out the magnetron and then run them across the coil from the transformer, it'll actually generate 48 volts.
A friend, magnetron. What is a magnetron?
Exactly. There you go. That's the bit that gives you
a magnetron.
It's basically a what used to be a radar, but they've changed it so that it produces heat from electricity, and it's got two big magnets either side of it. In a microwave, it is.
Me and my mate Darshan, we lived in the squatting community for a while in Bradford, and we hung around with all the leftists and the punks and the anarchists and all that. Yeah. And we were in this squat, and he basically got hold of a car alternator. Yeah. We took it apart. He rewired all the copper windings. We put some magnets in. Yeah. We built turbine blades out of some grey plastic pipe, the grey ducting.
Oh, well.
We had a wind turbine built in this squat.
Make a 3-phase motor out of them. Yeah, well, a 3-phase.
You two
got
like
generator.
The coolest accents, by the way. You two got like serious. I love your accent.
My dad was such an inventor, unbelievable. Well, not really an inventor, a creator of stuff. I mean, he built his own 17-foot cabin cruiser. And I've actually got City 8, as in City Film, of it being launched. And my dad said to me, he says, "Can you notice something that's missing, Rich, on backlight?" And it was rudder. They never put the rudder on it, and they launched it. I always remember, like, it just went round and round in circles because he forgot to put the bloody rubber on it. He smashed it into the bank and then sold it for scrap for 50 quid. And he also built an auto gyro, fly it, and it flew. You know what I mean? Well, if he'd have tied it in the right place on the gyrocopter, it would have flown because it was a glider that they used to use on the. You can see one actually in Duxford Aeroplane Museum. The Nazis used to use them so they could raise them above the submarine so they could have a look at. You know what I mean? And it's basically just rotors on it that waft around like, and these things were going at 300 RPM. He said they weighed 30 tons on the end, right? 300 RPM.
Blimey.
Now, but what he done was he attached the towing hitch in the middle of the gyrocopter. So of course you've got a 9-foot long body. You've got 30-foot diameter. Rotors, right? So you got 9 foot, and of course it tried to take off like that, didn't it? Right. So you can imagine these things, right, were wafting around. It just sounded like a proper helicopter, mate, I tell you, right? And it raised up like this, and then suddenly just two hits on the ground stopped these things completely. My dad went one way, the gyrocopter went other way, like, and then it just got up like we were pissing him. Since when he got up, you know, just don't know what about.
Well, this is how you learn, isn't it? By stuff like that, you learn. Oh, yeah. maybe I shouldn't do it like this. It needs to be done like that. And it won't try and kill me next time.
Yeah, it's all that to scrap as well. So that
it would try and kill me next time. See, this is why women live longer, guys. Come on, this is why women live longer.
Well, this is why women also have all the luxuries and trappings of a modern day world because of what this lad's talking about.
Imagine that. Imagine that, Ace, if we hadn't chuffing crashed it on its maiden flight, right? We could have been flying around bloody Pompeii by now.
The one it's one of the few
floating around it on a boat made by me dad.
You don't want to come to Pompeii.
One of the few regrets that I have about not staying with my family as a child, from what I remember, my dad, we lived up in Wibsey and he had a garage at back of the house, and he was a mechanic. I think he used to be a heating engineer as well.
Yeah.
So I decided this is why I've got all this set up. My house is a workshop. There's hardly any space. Well, there's space, but there's very little comfort. It's more a man's pad, but we've added scientific experiments here and there.
Yeah.
But the one thing I regret is that I didn't stay with my family, because had I grown up with my dad, I would have had all that at my disposal at a younger age.
Yeah.
The workshop, the stable home and stuff. So it's one of the reasons why I've built my house into a workshop now, is because my daughter is 25. I've got 4 grandkids already, and everything that I have goes to them. And I want them to be able to be of the kind of mind that if something's broke, you don't just throw it away, you fix it. So that if things get really, really bad, they're not going to be all walking around like Walking Dead members. What do I do? What do I do?
There's just the
one's going, fuck that. I'm off with my mates, and we're gonna go fix it.
I've got a plotter up in my loft that's like a meter, so it takes a meter piece of paper, right? Or
you got what? Sorry,
a plotter. So it's a bit like a 3D printer. So it moves a little stylus around with a pen in the middle.
Okay.
But I want to replace the pen. I want to replace the pen with the Dremel, you see, so as I can cut things out and stuff like that, but 1 meter size. I mean, you've seen my radiator, haven't you? There's my radiator cover that I made. I still need to finish it off. Look, it's got camel.
Wow. Instead of a Dremel, stick a plasma
torch
to it. You got yourself a plasma cutter.
I ain't got a plasma though. I've got plenty of Dremels that I've took to bits, and now just down to the motor and the chuck, ready to put in this thing. But I've got to do the electronics as well. And like my head's just not in it at the moment. You know what I mean? With depression and all that I'm just getting over. But I've got stuff like that hanging around. You know what I mean? Like up in my loft.
Well, I think
like
every gentleman should have a hobby, and any gentleman that doesn't, you should be deeply suspicious of what they do with their time.
Yeah,
not just a hobby. I think every man, and I'm not being sexist here, the women can get involved if they want, the girls can grow up and be mechanics and all that, but every boy worthy of being able to say that they are a proud Englishman should, when they get their first house, have a workshop.
Yeah.
Have a DIY workshop. They should
you know, I love
a man
because this is
Oh,
what I built this guitar. Here.
That as well.
guitars, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
I wired it all.
Is that a purple? Is that purple?
It's purple, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Wizard
my
wants
favourite
it.
colour.
Well, it's based on.
Play us a
I had no
tune,
idea.
Jake. Oh wait, no, you can't because copyright.
What is what copyright?
I said play us. I said play us a tune.
You're not one of those who
Play
just
it if you want me
people's
to.
music, are you?
I'll play it if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it.
Wouldn't that get copy strike for the?
You won't get. You won't.
No.
No,
Give
no,
me
if
to
you
switch
won't,
the
yeah, play it.
amplifier on,
I
and
love
I'll
that.
play it to you. Give me a sec. It'll be
Right, so I
loud.
had 2 minutes. I know how these guitar riffs go on, right? They're always just a person in the
Purple
corner
Rain.
playing it, and everybody's just listening to it, right?
Well,
Which I've not got a problem with. But
If he plays well, just an extra thing as well. Rather than just having my wood lathe there, this entire area here is my computer studio. I use FL Studio. I make my own music. I write my own lyrics. So hey, there we go. We've got. We've got.
I don't know if you can hear it.
For a civilization,
I can.
we've
Yeah.
got 5 of us. If 5 of us can't create a civilization,
Oh, we got a didgeridoo.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I
That's a
can
lot of
sing, but
gain.
you won't like my lyrics. They're a bit naughty.
This guitar I'm using. This one.
Are you tuning EADGB? Or are you drop D?
The lad can rip one. Nice.
Nice. I
That's
don't say
enough.
this to men very often, but you're good with your fingers.
Thank you.
hey,
That's enough.
this is fully interactive. This is
Oh, that
left
got
a
me.
bit,
That
right
got
a
me.
bit, left a bit, right a bit.
Don't want to get any copyright strikes for playing Van Halen songs.
Yeah, got me didgeridoo.
Oh, no, I think you get copyright strikes if you're doing it in your own style. I think it's creative. It's creative license, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yeah.
If you're doing a cover, it's not covered under copyright. I don't think.
It has to sound exactly like it does on a
Yeah.
CD, and
And you have to be making money off
offense,
it.
but-
I
Yeah,
think if you're making money off it,
I
then
don't know much about that.
yeah.
These corporate idiots today, they'll be like, "Oh well, you might not be making money off it yourself, but the video that you were playing it in might get a load of views, and the person making the video is making money, so therefore we're going to sue you." Yeah. Another one as well. When it comes to Revolution, all CEOs can get lined up against that wall as well. All these corporate idiots have basically stifled creative freedom. You can't sing like that because it's against our policy. So we're not going to give you a record label. That's why a guy called Tom McDonald. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's an American rapper. He's up against them all the time. That lad. They hate him, but the American people love him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's brilliant. Like
he's a good independent artist.
He's like a Christian rap, but he kind of reminds me of Pod, POD from back in the day. Like I'm 41, so I left school in 2000. So POD were like really big in that point in time. But yeah, he reminds me of them, but less less West Coast, more East Coast of America with rap, because the rap sounds different from.
I think Tom McDonald. I mean, I never understood all that East Coast West Coast stuff in America, but I think Tom McDonald's a self-confessed roughneck,
legend.
Redneck, roughneck. I think roughnecks are the ones who are working on the oil rigs and what have you. And the rednecks are the ones who can turn a microphone into an atomic bomb within 5 minutes, can't they?
The rednecks are the field workers. They were called rednecks because they had the sun on the back.
Yeah, is that where that came from?
Yeah.
Here you go, Wiz. I've got something on screen just right now. This is what my dad made after watching a Robin Hood documentary or something like that. Anyway, are you watching it? I'm not looking at StreamYards at the moment.
Yep.
You got it. Yeah. Press play. Yeah.
Yep.
This is a bit of a contraption by my dad. Who made this crossbow repeater. I thought this might be quite good as the crow feather crossbow on grounded. It does fire 5 arrows in quick succession. It takes a while to load up. The 5 arrows actually sit in the top fat bit that you can see, and the bow, when it's operated, pulls back the bowstring and then fires out the arrow.
See it?
Oh yes,
yeah, that blew out.
Wow.
Hey,
yeah.
That one stuck in his shed.
He reminds me of a guy.
We spoke about crossbows last time I was on.
There's a German guy. I've just got his name up here called Jörg Sprave, and he does. He's got that typical cheeky laugh, and then he brings out this like 400 round repeating crossbow that he's made out of stainless steel and what have you ever seen him?
Yeah,
that's funny.
You don't mean? Oh, what's his name? He recently killed himself. He does all sorts in his back garden. He did a generator and all sorts. What was his name? Bloody hell! Who's following? He used to laugh like that. And then he didn't really do crossbows and stuff, I suppose. But he used to have a cheeky laugh on it, and he used to explain gears and stuff like that to you. What was his name? Bloody hell! Can't remember. Yeah, it was a very sad stream actually when he took his own life.
He did it on stream.
No, he didn't. No. He'd already done the deed, and he'd made a timed YouTube event to go out. And then his brother, he said, right, I'm just going to go and hopefully, this can be my legacy package. Basically, this YouTube, hopefully it'll stay up. I'll have a word with my brother. Then that's it. Just stood up, walked out. And then his brother come on next day and said, "Oh yeah, he's done this, that, and other."
I try not to get emotional too much in my life. I'm a man. I bottle it up and then take it out on dog. No, I don't.
What's your name, Mohammed?
No, when it comes to people like that and the old depression thing, and I mean, look at the lead singer from Prodigy. Man, I'm gonna start crying now, and I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
Damn, when he went
out. Let it out, bro. Let it out. You're in a safe environment.
Because if I start crying, I'll never stop.
Flow. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Yeah. Excuse me, I was having a bit of a geek off in the chat. Sorry about that. We were just geeking out about
okay.
I struggle myself. I'm on quetiapine and venlafaxine. Quetiapine's the antipsychotic.
Me too.
And venlafaxine after a couple of weeks when it kicks in. Wow, it is a miracle.
Hello.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
Random person in the background.
I'm trying to come off it.
It's my cousin.
Hello, cousin.
AKA channel member. What's the name? What is it? E2 City Boy.
Right.
So whenever it pops up in chat, you'll know it is now.
Not when people are looking anyway.
Yeah.
Happy days.
I've just took him out for a wee, by the way.
Oh, the little face. I was wondering where the little face was. Was that him barking earlier? He's got a funny bark, isn't he?
He's got a funny bark, but that won't him. That'll be one of the other neighbours with another dog.
Don't you dare start get your dog barking, because she'll start as well. Come here. Come on, then. Come on up.
Is he being shy today? Is he?
She
hiding behind your head.
It's like a Labrador so far. No, a American pit bull.
No, she'd get off me chicken. That's not for you. Get off. Get off.
She's like, yeah, it is. She's gorgeous.
What
breed is she?
She's a mix, but I think for legal for legal reasons, she's a boxer cross Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
I was going to say she looks like she's got staffy because of the head shape.
Yeah.
I call them meat dogs. If I ever get one, I want an English Bull Terrier. They are my absolute favourite. I grew up with Irish setters. Yeah, I grew up with setters, Irish setters specifically. They are absolutely mad as a box of frogs. But I love the muscly dogs. Don't know why. I think they're cool. Anyway, I would call him Meatball.
A dog's sole purpose is to protect your family.
This God dog.
That is why we.
Yeah, he'd protect you. Look at that face.
Look at his eyes, right? He can actually keep an eye on the front door and the back door at the same time. Unfortunately, he's got no teeth, have you?
He looks like he's plotting the demise of civilization. That look in his face. He's like, I'm going to kill you all.
I can put him under my arm, you see. They want him in the same position as you are, Binky, right? They actually do look like Jabba the Hutt. Because with his nose, you see, comes as my body. It looked like Jabba the Hutt proper with I've forgotten what his pet's name was. Jabba the Hutt, so it's something.
Oh, that whiny
he had that giant worm.
Look, I've got one.
Sarlacc. I know it's called. Yeah, I only know that because I play No Man's Sky.
You had to fight in pit, wasn't it? What? The Snarlax were the thing that he had to fight in Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, the giant sandworm thing that comes out of the ground.
No,
I only know what it's called, not because I'm a Star Wars fan.
And he killed him, don't he? And that guy starts crying, you've killed me pet.
I'm just going to nod and agree at this point because I actually haven't watched any of the films. I just knew that there was this giant sand worm. I play No Man's Sky and you can get pets in the game. And I had a giant worm sandworm that looked like the Snarlack. I googled its name and called it Snarlack. Anyway, that's a really nerdy thing to expose.
Yeah, I think Pat the Milkman actually informed me of what. Yeah, look, it's here. Salacious B. Crumb.
I think that having geeky interest is wonderful, and I think that anyone who has an interest and a passionate interest in something, I don't really care what it is, as long as it's not Islam, then I find it's something that I find interesting, because if someone else feels that passionate about it, then that can quite easily transfer onto other people. Like I was saying,
what about if you're passionate?
Things,
if you're passionate about disproving Islam with Islam? What if that's your passion? Would you support it? Would you be like, let's
to disprove Islam with Islam?
Yeah. If you're able to do that, it's more.
You can disprove the Islamic dilemma is
from our realm
disproving itself. Quite literally, that's the Islamic dilemma.
That would be a paradox, though, wouldn't it?
But that's the thing, because Muhammad proclaimed that the Torah and the Gospel were true as was revealed to him, as was revealed by Allah. So therefore, that would mean that the Quran and the Hadith then going on to say that Jesus didn't die. It literally, the Quran disproves itself because it says that Jesus didn't die. But the Gospels, which was affirmed by Muhammad, says that Jesus died. So therefore, Islam disproves itself.
Yes, the Islamic dilemma. Yes.
My question to Muslim men is:
what if that's your passion?
If that's your passion, then you need to sort your life out. It's not
because we need it. We need that. We need that fire. We need that language. We need that truth out in the world. So. My question to all the
David
men,
Wood's the only reason I know any of this stuff, like how to put those
arguments
across.
I'm just going to go and make a all of you shut it.
Hold on, I want you to do it.
I'm going to go and make a brew.
Just
I'm going to come back. When I come back, we need to talk about this 30,000 Muslims in Birmingham, because it's bugging me.
Yeah, we have to.
About it yet.
Do we have
to.
On that topic, just one question.
Just need to do this.
Right, carry on. I'll be back.
Hold on, Wiz. Hold on, Wiz.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a wee quick.
Show this quick. While you're gone, show that.
We doing a photo of life.
What the fuck is that?
That's Salacious B. Crumb. That's Salacious B. Crumb.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is.
Yes.
Star Wars meme.
That's not my wife, by the way. before I end up
What
getting
does
divorced.
Star Wars? You've not seen Star Wars, really? Seriously?
No, yeah, I literally did say I might know the name Snarlack, but that's because I play No Man's Sky,
it's
where you can get a pet that's a flying worm,
Funny as
and I
shit.
called him Snarlack because I knew
No.
that there was a giant worm in Star Wars. I had to Google his name though; I didn't know it because I'd seen the film. All I know is that there's this big thing where some people say, under the Mandela effect, that Luke, I'm your father, and then other people say that no, I'm your father. Like, and apparently, like, I remember and have always remembered Luke, I'm your father.
Well, you see,
Not,
the Islam
no,
version
I'm
says,
your
Luke,
father.
I'm your cousin.
Here's one for all the Here's one for all the Muslim men that might be watching. If a Muslim man decides one day that Islam is no longer for him, does that also mean that he suddenly stops wanting to molest children?
No, that also means he becomes an apostate, and he will be an enemy of the Islamic regime.
That's apostate, not apostate.
Apostate.
Yes.
Apostate.
Yes.
Yeah, because they like bum stuff apparently with the Al-Zurt. That's what I heard anyway.
Oh, this is another thing I found out recently. The Ayatollah that everybody's mourning that's died he got turned into a pink mist, didn't he? They're all these idiots are mourning him. Oh, he's dead and dead. But it turns out he actually wrote a book on the acceptable practices of shagging goats, and that is true. I'll double check it, but apparently he wrote something about the correct way to conduct yourself in the fornication with goats. And I shit you not, and it's I was spamming it all over X. It's like, you're mourning this guy. You all need to be turned into a pink mist. Sorry, but what the heck?
Indeed.
So I just went to the toilets and I had my earphones on. He wrote a book about how best to rape children.
Who did?
No, he wrote a book.
Is that what I literally just basically heard without those specific words being
the Ayatollah wrote some laws or some rules or guidelines or a book on the best way to conduct yourself in an intimate manner with goats. Let me just
really. I did not know that. I was planning on doing a whole bunch of expose on the Ayatollah. I call them the Ayatollahs, or Pentagon, Hexagon, Ayatollah-gon.
Here we go. Blooming AI, Google AI. I cannot answer this question. The topic is inappropriate and violates content policies against promoting bestiality and sexually explicit material. All I put in with Google were, did the Ayatollah write a book on the best way to fuck girls?
Yeah, don't use AI. Don't use AI. Use the web tab. There's a web tab underneath the normal search bar for what's name. But don't use the AI thing, because that's controlled by Google themselves, who are ultra wokeists.
By the devil.
Yeah, the devil. Yeah. Oosh. Yeah, don't say that, Mark. YouTube, that's who's hosting us at the moment. They'll pull the bloody plug.
Here.
There you go.
He wrote a book basically saying that you are not allowed to sell your goat for goat meat if you have had intimate relations with it.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What, with the goat or with the girl? Because if that's the level of their moral standard of needing to write a book about it,
you can sell it to your
genuinely not know which one they're referring to.
You can sell that goat to non-believers.
Obviously,
well,
give them any old shit that we don't want.
That's actually the same in Judaism. There's the same rule in Leviticus that if you were to find a sheep that's died, naturally died, and you come across it dead, you can't consume that meat, but you can sell it to a neighbor. But their neighbor can't be within the tribe.
In the form of a kebab. We'll sell it to the community in the form of a kebab. Yeah.
Sorry, that's just one of the comments that made me laugh. The one from Triggered Christian.
What
does he say?
Yeah,
I love
they
Triggered.
Sell it to us and call it halal.
presuming trigger, you male or female? Because I obviously don't know, because
They them.
that's a rather ambiguous name.
Here we
How
go.
dare you
Here we
gender
go.
me?
This is a direct
No, you
quote
see,
from the
I've
Ayatollah
been-
Khomeini's book. I think the book is called Tahrir al whatever. I don't speak shit language, but yeah, it says here, and this is a quote from his book: a man can have sex with animals such as sheep, cows, camels, and so on. However, he should kill the animal after he has his orgasm. He should not sell the meat to the people in his own village. Selling it to the next village is fine.
What are you doing to my channel?
Yeah.
And this is the supreme leader.
He goes away for 2 minutes, guys. We had one job. We had one job.
Yeah,
he goes away
and
for
don't
5
ever have
minutes.
sex with a camel because I always get the hump.
Why don't you? Why don't you look?
Well, they
why
spit,
you
don't
look
they?
at-
They don't swallow. Sorry.
They're
Well,
not attractive. They got
this
lovely
stream's either
camel
going to get
toes.
1 million views or it's going to get us all blocked from YouTube.
Yeah, that's
don't-
my channel banned, and I've only just started it. Great.
Why don't you
Another
have a look at
7 day ban.
admin roles within not for this stream obviously, but in the future stream? Why don't you have a look at admin roles, because it might be easier to add someone like me, respect my authority, right? Like me, while I'm in chat. I don't know, on screen. I mean, on stream.
I at the moment am only doing long form and shorts, and the reason for that, I haven't got a camera, so doing live.
Well, I bought mine for £1.50 off at Chuffy Car Boot Sale, and it works lovely.
Oh,
Not
geez,
this one,
wow.
my old one.
Hell.
Yes, I think they're
Yeah,
about
I've
15 quid
seen
brand new.
like a little
No
camcorder on
excuse.
Amazon for like 50 quid. It will do what I need it to do. I can just plug it into my
Well,
computer.
you know, this one that I'm
But,
using at the moment, it come with a bag full of accessories, right? It's got a telescopic, a really good, well-made one, a telescopic thing handle, so you can do the thing. It does up to 4K. It does a wireless camera as well. It does PCIM, which is where you can get you just plug it into your computer, and then you can get your videos off for it. Or photos. You can also use it as a PC cam. It's touchscreen as well. It was £24.99.
Very fancy.
It's called a
Ali Akbar.
No,
Akbar.
It's got
Akbar.
That's from Red Dwarf. That is
Alu Akbar. Alzu Akbar.
Akaso, AKASO. It's very
Sorry,
good.
I'm laughing at this, but I'm also laughing at some of the passages from the rest of this book that the Ayatollah wrote, and it's
Oh God.
that shit would get you put in prison for life on the child sex offenders register, and then you'd be strung up and stabbed to death in prison showers within the first 5 minutes if you're stepping into prison.
So the interesting question is, how is it? So it's, obviously it's legal in their country for them to put that on the internet from their computers, but if we know that sort of content, we do not like, it's literally illegal, how come we can sit there and read it? But if I was to write it and put it up, I would be arrested, but I can sit there and read it.
No, this
Like,
is
what?
a great advert for sponsoring equality. We can put this up in the Court of Human Rights and say, hold on.
Misspelling
I'll
of
tell you for
guy.
why.
Talk
I'll
about
tell you
it.
for why. Because they are quoting passages from their instruction pamphlet, aka the Quran. Right?
They're
They are
holy
able to
books.
get away with it. They're able to get away with it because our government is so weak-willed and weak-spined that they've allowed them to get away with it. And anybody bringing this up will then get caught up on an Islamophobia charge. And you will probably end up doing exactly the same as what you've just read out there, during your own prison time, because you've called it out.
This is why I'm firmly in the camp of Team Rupert Lowe.
Yay! Did you hear
Yeah,
the news
but don't
yesterday?
put all of
He
your
is
hope
now
on one.
official.
All right. Don't change it
It's
into a
now
different.
official. I've done a whole. I literally yesterday was working on a video all night long. I've worked on it all today. It's 25 minutes long.
Great stuff. So whereabouts do we get our voices heard?
Restore,
so where do we get our voice? Where do we get our voices heard then? Or what happens if we don't agree with a particular policy that he comes up with, or his little mates?
I'm not Rupert. I can't answer those questions.
Well, then can you please get in touch with Rupert and ask him?
And don't put all of your faith in
I have messaged him.
No.
I have messaged him.
And what happened?
And he did reply to me, but it was brief, and it was basically to say thank you for the support, like keep the conversation going, that sort of thing. But basically, if you look at Rupert Lowe, if you want to go back to 2019 when he actually joined the Brexit Party, he has been against migration since the beginning. This country, unfortunately, yes, no one is going to have to like kicking out a bunch of people. No one's going to like that. I've got Indian friends in the house.
Someone clicks the door and wave them off.
I understand all that.
It doesn't solve the problem of this country. Unfortunately, it does not solve the problem of this country.
How are we going to do it, though? That's the thing. How is it going to be possible without causing massive social unrest?
Well, I was going to be doing a live. I actually plugged a live, due time, scheduled it. But then when I went to go use Streamlabs, I just got really confused with it, so I didn't know what I was doing.
And you have seen, you have seen the ones that are actually putting me off from joining Restore Britain. Surely the YouTube channels that keep picking on Paul Thorpe and stuff. You have seen all that drama unfolding. Surely these are people
because they're not Rupert.
The thing is,
Rupert's the one that's guiding the message. His message has been quite literally exactly the same since 2019. Yeah. You name me one other. Name me one other politician. Ben's not a politician. Very educated guy. He's only recently become a politician. But name me one other politician that has had the same message for that amount of time and hasn't flip-flopped based on what the public want to hear.
Me, I have all my life. Well,
yeah, but I'm talking in now, in our spectrum of time.
So
before I even knew what politics was.
Who holds him to account if he happens to 180 on anything? Nobody does. We've just got to grin and bear it for 4 years.
They have only literally just gone live, so obviously he can't set up a party and have everything in order day one. That's not how it works. Ben's party isn't 100% ready to go.
So let me tell you something about Ben.
All bells and whistles. It's a work in progress. Let
me tell you something about Advance UK. I've sent them an email today asking and telling them that we need to talk to a leader of Advance UK. All right, I've just done it this morning. I emailed Wiz about it and then WhatsApped him about it as well. And basically, if they don't get in touch within the next week, I don't think I can support them. Advance.
What Advance?
Much as I love the college and all that, and how that brings about the communication route.
Rupert, bro, there's nothing to stop Rupert. He's quite open to suggestion for what could be good policies.
But how?
How? Well, there's a website. Wait. There's a website where he's got a bunch of the policies. People can suggest policies and they get voted on. It's restore.vote something.
Have you seen that?
I agree with what you've been saying. But going back to what I said before.
Wiz, have you seen that, Wiz? Because you told me there were somewhere where you could look at the policies and things, and I said, well, what about feedback? What about feedback? And what about putting, whatever you need in there? What about that? I mean, is it like Twitter? Is it just as chaotic as a conversation with Chrissy or what? Because that's our attitude.
No, it's a website where they put up their policies and you can literally vote on them.
I don't think
like the House of the People.
I don't think that enough thought is being given to how support and votes translate into getting positions of power. Because if you look at the last election, Reform got millions of votes, but they got absolutely fuck all seats because of it. So even if Rupert manages to get lots and lots of grassroots support, that still doesn't guarantee that he's going to get the seats in and therefore be able to get enough to get into power, which is 326. As much as I would like him to, At the moment, I'm struggling to see how.
But if there was a landslide, undisputable, the British have chosen Rupert Lowe to run the country. That can't be overturned.
He hasn't got a team.
We are the people. Like he's actually.
I don't think it's going to matter.
To go through Parliament and sweep it fucking clean. He is absolutely furious with the cover up for the.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Furious.
I would
it's
say
not. It's not going to matter. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference. It's not going to change out. And I'll tell you why. I think before we are able to get a solid foundation of a party, of a group, of an organisation to get into government, I think something really, really nasty,
miraculous
is going to happen. Or miraculous, whichever way you want to look at it. But I think we are. You asked about how are we going to get rid of all these people without civil unrest. Unfortunately, we're going to have to face the fact that that's what's on the horizon for us.
So what we need to do
on many levels.
What needs to be done is exactly the same as Advance UK's policy on this: is to ban halal meat, ban people being able to swear on the Quran in the Houses of Parliament, right?
And if people
get rid of all the illegals,
we need ICE. We need a British version of ICE.
But you've got to do it slowly. You've got to do it slowly, exactly the same as the Fabian Society has done it with us. Right, you've got to do it slowly. So if you've got policies in that say you've got to ban the Quran, you've got to ban praying in the streets, you've got to stop people from being recruited into Islam on the streets, which is all Advance UK's policies, right? Yet, for some reason, Restore Britain don't want to align themselves with Advance UK, and I think. Wait, when I'm on a roll, mate, please. Because I'll forget, and I think I might have done. I think that is exactly what Restore Britain has been told about Ben. It's down to Ben's ethnicity. Now on this channel, we've tried to get on what's his name, Nick Buckley. He's already said to us he would be willing to take on the role of running Advance UK. Therefore, we haven't got a half Pakistani man, right, who's a true patriot towards Britain, right? But that's not the thing. It's the visuals.
It's the image.
It's that, right? Yeah. So we on this channel are trying to change that, right? For again, part of my legacy package, right? Trying to change that so as we can amalgamate with Restore Britain. Now, people on the internet who were like slagging off Paul Thorpe and stuff like that are not doing any favors for that party. I'm telling you, right? That's again the visuals on that. You know what I mean?
You're gonna get that on all sides, though, bro. Like,
there's like 6 of them.
My problem with Lowe is very popular online, but outside of the the internet and outside of Twitter and that sort of thing, Rupert Lowe is someone that most people in the country don't know yet, and that's why I mean,
they don't know any of us.
Is he going to be able to get over 300 votes in 3 years? It's a really difficult challenge.
They don't know anyone who's against. They don't know anyone outside the internet. They don't know anybody who are against the establishment, and this is part of the problem that we've got. The establishment control the media control the crowd. There's more people that need
what
to come.
Rupert says.
This is exactly what we say.
Yeah, people are waking up though.
Yeah, why do you think everyone's on YouTube? Why do you think people want to defund the BBC and turn it into a subscription?
No, that's us. That's us. That's us in our echo chambers are thinking that everybody's on the internet. They're not.
Yeah, Restore want to do the same thing.
There's only about 18% of the people that listen to news on the internet. Not everyone. And
that's
it's everyone that you need, and then they need waking up to start voting again. Luckily, Wizard's now on that kind of mindset. He needs to vote no matter what.
Going to make a difference.
I've done a video to encourage people to vote. That was the point of my Restore.
Yeah,
it's based on the news from yesterday. Was to encourage voting.
But vote for who is best for your
constituency. It will change the narrative completely. When the internet became a well-known, well-recognized means of communication, the television should have been obsolete. Every house should have access to the internet, because that is where the fight is for the social consciousness. The fact that The
Which
fact
way
that
the fight is,
it's a living organism. The internet. It's a living organism.
The fact that people are still being pushed with televisions and TV licensing it's an insult and it's a detriment to our evolution as a into a better society. The television needs to go. Every house, every new built house should have in it access to the internet.
But then you'd overrun. Wait, that wouldn't work. For that, you would have to build so much infrastructure for the internet to actually be able to handle it. Internet cables aren't just a truck that you could. Wait. So I've worked in like back end internet for Sky. Like I know a lot about.
Sounds internet. A bit rude, eh?
You can't. Sorry. You can't just like it's not a truck. You can't just like dump loads of stuff in the back and drive it off. It's more like a tube that you would like run water through. You can't push pieces of water past other pieces of water. It will flow through as a solid, well, not solid because it's water, but as a solid mass, and then it will depart the other side. That's how the internet. You have to like it goes in bit by bit. For us to be able to have every single person just using the internet, we physically don't have the infrastructure for it. We genuinely don't. We just about have the infrastructure to support the internet use that we have. Why do you think we're now seeing mass erections of mobile masts? Because, oh, by the way, yes, your landline service provider can route their internet through masts to your routers through the sub boxes, which then run through the cables.
Yeah. This is why we need to force companies like BT to open up the full potential of fiber optic cable, because there was a guy recently who came out and showed that there's a way.
So long ago, like we were the ones that set the standard for like that style of infrastructure. We were the British were the ones that set that standard.
Yeah,
we built it so long ago. Yeah, that's the problem. We'd have to rip it all out and then put all fiber in, because fiber definitely way more efficient.
Well, I've got two choices of fiber now. I've got two choices of fiber now. I've got NTL or Virgin
NTL.
Media,
or that takes me back.
Yeah, or Virgin Media, or the one I'm using at the moment, which is UFiber. $24.99 for the month. I don't think everybody's seen me.
UFiber, is that like the Uber and the
no one can see me. Look,
the food.
I just did me.
It starts with a U. Is it delivered by a migrant? Is your internet delivered by a migrant?
Well, I think they all are now. Chuffing I had one other day asking me if I wanted British gas. I've already got it, and he was a Somalian running away from this chuffing chihuahua. It looked quite funny, actually.
I can make my own British gas. Just give me a can of beans and I'll be well away.
Thank you, Ace. We've had enough of your back end internet. I don't
know what's with me. I think it's because I've not had any sleep. I've had no sleep. I was literally working on the last video I did for like literally over 24 hours.
You can't.
You're pausing yourself with caffeine.
No, I genuinely can. I have genuinely not slept.
You can't say that to a narcoleptic, Ace. There's no competition.
Oh, bro, my bad. Fuck.
There's no competition
look, you can sleep for the both of us.
Crime.
There we go. Look, you can sleep for the both of us.
It's an 8 crime.
I'm only joking.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it out and finish.
No, I'm only joking. But back to the topic, as Defiant Fox said so. So, is there an army of Islam? Is the comment he's basically got written in there. I would argue that there isn't an actual army. There is possibly a paramilitary organization operating. Well, no, not possibly. There is a paramilitary organization.
Muslim Brotherhood.
Beneath our radar.
Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah.
There's also the Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah, the Muslim Brotherhood.
Hezbollah, and because they're all over here. It's not.
And how many?
So you've got the Sunni and the Shia. You need to make that distinction before you start talking about groups. You need to distinguish whether they're Sunni or whether they're Shia, because the impact on society will be very, very different. Shia tend to go on.
Yeah, they're both the same. Shia is the same.
Two cheeks of the same arse.
We heard about the the weather in Iran at the moment. Sometimes it's Sunni, sometimes it's Shiite.
Yeah.
Hey,
that
is actually
sorry.
Either way, doesn't matter what the weather was because Iran.
Well, it'll be raining bombs.
Fucking dad jokes are coming out now.
They always do, mate.
But in all seriousness, though, what we have to contend with is we do not know how many possible sleeper cells we have in this country that are there waiting to be triggered, who could then possibly do an October the 7th style attack.
Well, that's coming anyway.
That tells me straight away that they would be Sunni.
Hang on.
That tells me straight away that they would be Sunni, which means they would abide by different sets of rules than Shia. And you can test that by some questions that you ask them. But
wouldn't
again, I wouldn't want to be talking to.
Back in a minute.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't. I'd hope that could be the best I could wish for, because what happens to females if they're captured by the right hand, those that your right hand possess, yeah, no thanks, I'd rather be dead.
Yeah.
So
yes, I agree. And if you're a bloke,
I do genuinely feel sorry for them, though. I feel sorry for the men, I feel sorry for the women, because they have all been misled by one man's crazy interpretation of two perfect books. Because if you were to do the mathematics on how well aligned the Torah and the Gospel actually are, like the mathematics of it is just absolutely insane, absolutely incalculable. If that story was written over 3,500 years and all of the prophecies line up perfect, humanity hasn't been able to write anything that grand over the space of 3,500 years with any level of consistency. Maybe we could write one book in, a couple of years and there would be a level of consistency. You got the guy who wrote the Game of Thrones. He started that in 1984. He still hasn't even finished it. So we're all just hoping he doesn't die before he finishes it, of course. That would be horrible.
Writing takes time. I've spent 4 years writing my thesis, and it's only in its first draft. So,
well, mate, what are you studying again, Jake?
I'm studying American history, specifically looking at Civil War.
That's the one.
Statutes of Robert E. Lee is what my speciality actually is.
Is there anything you see in society today that would suggest to you, as a studier of such subjects, like that we are at the point of,
well,
it's only going to take one more October 7th, and we don't know what the fuck's
one area
happen.
Where I definitely think that there is a parallel, and that is a really good question, is if in American history, and I kind of spoke about this with Chrissy the other night, although I couldn't really speak that much about it. The Ku Klux Klan had a sudden revival.
Really?
Yeah, there's 3 different incantations of it, and the second version of it suddenly went from quite a small group to a massive rise and they reached over 5 million people in a really brief period of time. And my concern is that was a result of largely because of the black population.
DEI?
No, they didn't have DEI then. This would be in the 1920s. In the 20s.
I'd like to pick up on something on that as well. So there was a rise of it.
Hang on a sec, and you can. So this was in the 20s, and it rapidly tailed off because in the end it was a kind of like a Ponzi scheme, and it was just for money. But the parallel I would draw is that because of the context, and the people in the South felt kind of like they were being invaded by the black population, who they had seen as being their inferiors. And in a way, there's a similarity with there being an alien population being brought in and treated as equals. And that is perhaps why we're seeing a rise in the literal and real far right, as well as a genuine feeling of unsettlement amongst the population, which I think you might see with things like Restore, who I'm not saying are the KKK. I'm just saying that sentiment of like national pride is quite similar.
Yeah.
But what I think Ace is referring to is actual bloodshed on the streets, and that's something I think in this country, I don't think we've had anything really close to it. We had the Peterloo massacre in the 19th century, which was people using excessive force against a riot. Apart from that, I think it's probably the Civil War would be the closest that we've had to that, and so it's a completely unique situation, I would say.
Yeah. So on the rise of how the Ku Klux Klan began to rise again, right? Since Rupert Lowe launched his party, we've now seen a lot of a rise in ex-BNP members and anti-Zionists. I tell you what, Paul, I'm going to say Murray mentioned this on WCP's stream from earlier on this morning. He even put his hat on, BNP hat. You know what I mean? But then he went on to say, but Mose, Guardian Mose, who we have on Mondays usually, he said, I'd like to talk to him, but Mose has tried to contact him no end of times, and he ignores his emails. I've even put it in WCP's comment saying, Paul is perfectly welcome to come and debate with Guardian Mose. Just get in touch with him through his YouTube channel, but it nothing. Same as what Mose is getting from him. So I don't know. I think the guy's just full of BS.
The difference between
not Mose, not Mose.
I was going to say.
No, he's sound. He's sound.
Yeah.
The difference between the United Kingdom and what happened in America with the KKK is that here in England, we have had decades of foreign cultures that have come here and moved in and integrated the Sikhs, the Hindus, the Chinese, the Eastern Europeans. Most of them are white. The black community, for the most part.
I have one question.
For all the faults that we've got and we've had over these last few decades, the vast majority of those ethnic groups have integrated more or less fully into British society.
Exactly, yeah.
The problem we have is it's not going to get. We know just how far right can get, and we know, or we should know, just how far left the far left can get, and how bad that can get. We've fought the Nazis. We are the country that drew the line and said we can go this far, but you go there and you're dead. You're done. You're out. We're gonna obliterate you, because that is not who we are. We know this. We've got it in our DNA. Now, that doesn't mean to say that I've got any less love for the white, ethnic, indigenous people of this land.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that is where we'll be drawing the line when it comes to regaining our sovereignty as a United Kingdom and getting rid of those people and those cultures that are clearly antithetical to our unified country and our unified kingdom. Islam being the most obvious one, and I'm sorry, but if we're gonna ask them to leave peacefully, those who need to go, they'll be asked to go peacefully. If they resist that, then they are a trespasser in your home. And I am hoping, and I'm pretty much sure, that the majority of the armed forces would be up for the challenge of forcibly removing them from our streets, because after all, it is their duty as the national defense of this to protect the people of this country. And if the people of this country say they've had enough of Islam and they refuse to leave, then they are trespassing and they'll be forced to move. And it is
they would still have citizenship.
In order to fight cancer, you've got to get in there and you've got to attack it.
You're right.
Now, we used to attack it by broad brushing the entire body that's got the cancer cell. Now we've developed over time, and with plenty of practice, a way of being strategic and pinpointing specific problematic cells and removing them with the least amount of damage and harm to the overall biological system. That is exactly how we need to be, and that is exactly what's going to happen with this coming fight. Now, how the people who get asked to leave, If they don't, then we need to adopt what the US have got, and that is ICE.
Bryce.
You're right.
British ICE.
But
Bryce. British ICE.
There's one problem with that plan, which I agree with, by the way. The problem is, what do you do about citizenship?
What citizenship?
They all have citizenship.
Well, it gets revoked.
Yeah, so
you come into my house, you abuse that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You abuse
Let me just point out, Jake. Let me just point out.
I'm just trying to go through the thought process.
Just to point one out. Just point out one fact.
You get it revoked. It's like a membership to a club. If you get membership to any club or any internet service provider and you abuse the terms and conditions, then you get your license revoked, you get your citizenship revoked. Fuck off, get out, you're done. You've had plenty of chances.
Point of worldly.
No, I agree with you on that one, but I'm not saying it would be as easy as that though.
No, what the easy part is, what we need is somebody like Rupert Lowe to stand there and go, I don't give a flying fuck what you think about it. This is what's going to happen. And we need to have the balls and the backbone to go, yes, we're going to stand by that. We're going to stand by that. We're not going to allow ourselves to be distracted by all the noise that's going to come our way. This is what's going to get done. This is what needs to get done, and we're going to do it. How it gets done is dependent on how you respond to that, and it's the people who respond to it that are going to be the problem, and they're going to get dealt with.
I think Bryce, British ICE, basically. I think that kind of police force, whatever you want to call it. I think that kind of thing could come on for stragglers, people still stuck in this country after we've offered them to leave for like, I don't know, $2,000 or something like that. I mean, that's only really 2 weeks worth of hotel fees, isn't it? After we've deported all the illegals,
but the thing is that they're getting the $2,000, they're leaving, then they're coming back on the dinghy. Nobody knows.
No, that's nothing. Shabana Mahmood wants to give them £10,000 a boat journey.
That's their labour.
Sorry, but having a Muslim in charge of the Home Office is one of the biggest.
No, come on, be serious though. If they get given $10,000, okay, it's a lot of money, but it's cheaper than putting them in a hotel. And if they fuck off, then it's worth it, isn't it?
We shouldn't be giving them any money.
No, we shouldn't be giving them money.
It's taking the cheapest fucking option. We should be taking the cheapest.
Wait. Going to leave your house when you've asked them to leave is by saying, "Look, please leave my house. My kids are scared. My wife's giving me grief."
That's not how it's going to go down. You know it. You can't say please to these people. You know
take
that.
the money in my wallet and go, please. You're being robbed. You're being robbed there.
£10,000's too much. £10,000 is too much.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
If they say between 10 and 40
it costs 30 quid to get a one-way ticket to France on Channel Tunnel. There you go, 30 quid. Get the fuck.
Or boot up the
we could just have, or we could just have an arrangement with a country like we had prior to Starmer squashing it, where we had a pact with obviously Rwanda where we were going to basically fly them out there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, flights to somewhere are going to be far cheaper than paying them to leave. We're already paying for them to leave. Why are we paying them to leave as well?
This is why we
so we should just put them on fucking plane.
The Pakistani government are basically saying, if our people in your country are breaking the law, we will take them back. Ben Habib's been on to Pakistan about this. We've got a treaty with Pakistan already.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
So we need
somebody like they can take all their criminals.
Who knows what it's talking about to get the
that still doesn't solve the problem. It still doesn't solve the problem that we have. This as a conversation that needs to happen in society at a larger, the Overton window really needs to shift, where we're talking about how far removing of all colour do you want to go? Because that's basically.
We're not talking about removing.
Wait. Let me just please. How far of removing of colour do you actually want to go? Because the problem is, yes, they are born here. However, they are raised by a foreign culture because their parents, the majority of them, weren't born here. So those parents
this is where I agree with you.
Taught their child in the culture that they know, because they can't teach them anything else. They don't know it.
I agree with you. It's not about colour, it's about culture.
Yeah, first generation, second generation, and parents, or if there's no second generation, first generation, parents and grandparents all need to be removed. The lot of them need to be removed.
Yeah,
why?
Wait.
Let me just please. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? So the reason for, when you want to look at statistics for birth rates across the world, it is very well known that countries that fall into could be considered quote unquote financially stable situation, they naturally have less children because they don't feel the need to have children, because they don't look at their children as a commodity. Whereas a lot of the other side of the world, having children is not just a way of having, for us, it's just having family. For them, that child is a sum of money. For the females, the males, Pakistan, the street boy problem in Pakistan, I feel absolutely heartbroken for every one of those boys. Go and watch the documentary. I re-recorded it off of YouTube and then did a bits and these poor boys. I had to watch this documentary over a few settings because I was literally sitting there crying at what these boys have been put through. It's horrific, but they have more children than we do. So even just say, okay, let's make a number. We want the country to be 95% white. The other 5% can be a mixture of whatever, Chinese, African American, African, whatever. But the problem is that they will still outbreed us when they are in the country. So for that idea to work, we need to have a conversation.
Can we not talk over each other, please? Give me a headache.
Sorry.
We need to have a conversation in public and this is a really extreme thing to say, but if you're coming in as a foreign culture, you should be breeding at the same rate as us.
Well, that's what I wanted to slightly push back on, if you don't mind.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I'm a female.
We know that.
What the statistics show is that it's only the first generation of migrants that breed more quickly. As each subsequent generation, their fertility rates drop, so that eventually they become in line with the host nation.
Is that why the Muslim population is growing by 10% every 100% every 10 years?
Because they're being brought in here. It's not just entirely down to breeding.
We need to get rid of the Islamic threat first, and then concentrate and have these conversations about who else to, deport later.
That still takes us down the line of needing to have a conversation about who can have however many children.
Yeah, but it's kind of muddy in the waters, though, isn't it? Really?
Richard,
not really. That's the boiling point of the conversation. Is Richard, I, as a white female, probably going to have two.
Richard, if we take your idea there that you're saying you want to expel the Muslim population. Yeah. How is that different from when people wanted to expel Jewish populations? Because that's how it would come across to people.
Because the Jews weren't killing people. Child that they came across. The Jews weren't killing people. When we go to a concert, the Jews weren't imposing their belief system on us. They had their thing, and they more or less worked within the boundaries of. They're not forcing their will upon us.
No, exactly.
Muslims are. That is clear, and it is.
Yeah,
it's as truth as
good question. It's a needed question.
I
did actually say the Islamic threat. You
did say that. So you're looking at it specifically then as it's not to do with culture. You're framing it as primarily as a safeguarding threat to the country, and they are therefore enemies of the state.
Initially, yeah.
Okay. That's what I wanted.
The old thing about the black community or the Sikh community or the Indians, the Hindus, all these other different ethnic groups. like you've just mentioned yourself, once they've been here a while and once they're settled and once they know they've got a secure life, they don't want to be. They're not. All these other cultures seem to be not as concerned with breeding to take over as the Muslims clearly and definitely are.
Yeah,
they have 3, 4, 5 kids, maybe 6 kids.
Yeah, and they're going to outbreed
per wife. Per wife, and there's 4 wives. Per wife, and there's 4 wives.
And that's another thing as well. One wife. We have that in our DNA.
Yeah,
we have one wife, we have one family, and that's it. The Muslims, they can have as many wives as they want. Get the fuck out of here.
You see,
it's not as many. It's 4.
Your point is also extremely Ace. Your point is extremely valid. However, it's going to muddy the waters in getting the Muslim the not really the Muslim, but the Islamist extremists. It's gonna muddy the waters for getting those people out of the country.
That's listen, down the line. Islam first. Islam first. 100%.
Yes, absolutely. But people are going to get your idea, you see, and then run with that, and then just say, "Oh, look how racist these are," and you're not going to get anywhere. That's my point. That's my point with the 6 YouTubers that keep bullying each other. Well, not each other, but one particular person. But
just trying to say it's a point in conversation.
It is a point that needs to be had.
Is going to have to come up.
I think you're going to need to get this conversation out after.
You're right.
That's not for now.
Rupert Lowe
exactly,
Ducky. Yeah.
But Richard, are you suggesting then that there is a difference between certain belief systems in Islam and more moderate ones, or are you saying that it's the entire religion that is at fault here?
I am on the edge with that. I'm not sure.
Okay, because the reason I ask is because if it's because, hang on a sec.
Yeah.
The reason that I'm asking is because if I've forgotten what I was even going to say now.
It's become airborne.
This has become airborne.
It's now a new pandemic. Forgetfulness.
Oh, I know what it was. I know what I was going to say. I was going to say if it's we're going to look at distinguishing between you're saying looking at good and bad people within that population.
Okay.
What would you need to define somebody as being good or bad? How would you be able to measurably observe that in order to enact a removal?
I can answer
the Bible's got one for that.
By putting the certain laws that we're thinking about putting into place, all right, in order to protect us. So ban halal and kosher. Yeah, they're not getting away with it, all right? Ban halal and kosher.
Yeah, this is England
to make it England again. You know what I mean? Anybody that don't agree with that, like wearing burqas and stuff like that, no, go. You know what I mean? All right, if you don't like that, then you're not.
Because the reason I ask that this is really, really important. This aspect.
We have already had examples of what you're saying on the streets.
If you look at liberal democracy over history, one of the most important things is that belief is protected. It's sacrosanct that everyone is entitled to their own belief system.
So sticky.
As long as that belief holds itself on the greater whole.
So how do you get around that aspect? Because that goes completely against liberal.
The vast majority of the Muslim community, you're probably talking about maybe not even 5% of them came out and stood up against the Muslim community with regards to the grooming scandal, the mass rape of Britain by the Muslims in the communities. Yeah. That is the vast
entire
majority.
Muslim world.
You look at the predator hunter groups, the vigilante groups that go around catching predators. Not a single one of them has come from inside the Muslim community. You don't see predator hunter gangs running around the Muslim community calling out the fellow Muslims. You don't see it. Why? Because it's their culture.
No, I agree.
Well, it's actually a bit deeper than that. It's also written in the Quran that Muslims cannot basically be the reason another Muslim gets into trouble. So it's okay to commit a crime in Islam. What makes the crime sinful is getting caught, because then the shame is brought around. If there's no action of being caught, no shame can be brought, which basically means that the crime was okay.
Also,
That's
of course, if it's
the
in,
Quran's
if it's in your,
position on
Whereas
it.
if we found out one of our neighbours were nonsense kids down at local park, we'd take him out into the backyard and beat him to death.
Of course we would.
We won't cover it
You're
up.
right about
We
that.
won't do
But
anything like that. It'd be as simple
Yeah.
if he'd be kicked.
If it's in your party manifesto, right, to do these things that I mentioned, right, which it is in Rupert's and also in Advance UK's policies, right, to bring in these laws where, you know, no swearing on the Quran, etc. If the Liberals want to kick off about that, then
They can go as well.
So what? You know what I mean? It's in the manifesto. Therefore, they can't have anything. Neither can we have anything to do with that. If it's in the manifesto, then that's it. It's able to be pushed forward.
These liberals and leftists want to side with the Muslims when it comes to us clamping down on them,
then they're an enemy of the state.
They can have their citizenship reported. I don't give a flying fuck if they're British born and
Can I
British.
just clarify something?
They
here?
can go as well.
Let me just clarify something there. When I said liberal, I don't mean liberal as in the modern meaning of liberal. I mean classical
leftist Islamist alliance.
I don't mean that.
They
What I mean is classical Enlightenment liberalism.
Yeah.
One of the principles of it is that there is equality of belief. So how do we reconcile that with?
We have to recognize a state of emergency and enact powers that would defend and protect the whole.
Like
and unfortunately, people don't like this, but unfortunately, that does mean that we have to put on hold certain aspects of our liberal-minded philosophy and our rules and laws.
I know exactly.
We are in a state of emergency right now.
Okay.
I know exactly how to get all of the liberal woke tards out of the country. Right, ban the sale of blue and purple hair dye.
Yeah, that would do it.
No more septum piercings, right? And all glasses are very small.
Yeah,
that's the holy trinity of the liberal leftard that we need to get rid of, and they're easy to spot. You know what I mean? Even you'll be able to see their hairdos.
So, Binky, if we go with what you're saying,
do you mean all glasses are really small?
No, I said it also only sell really small glasses to people.
These I got from a guy called Vengen.
Anyway, you've not got purple hair, so stop pretending to be a jumping lefty now just because you've got big sunglasses on. All right, lefty.
No, but I do.
Why would anyone want to be a lefty? My God,
I've got no idea.
It looks like you'd have a headache every single fucking day. Yeah, the amount of screaming they do. My God,
I don't understand it. It just doesn't. It's something that I think, if you look at it sort of in sociological terms, leftism is something that appeals to young people. Once they've got a job and a family, they soon turn into conservatives. Which is
besides which, you've got one question.
You've got to pay for something.
Leftists don't have a father figure in the home.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's also one question that you need to ask them.
I don't, and I'm not left wing.
You've only got one question to ask them.
Yeah, you're an exception to the rule. We are.
Yeah, I am an exception to the rule. Yes, you're right about that.
Yeah, but you know what a woman is, don't you?
I do.
You know what a woman is,
I've
don't you, Jay?
Several.
Exactly.
Several of them.
There you go. That's your purple.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about the traditional woman or the new designer woman, the ones with cocks? Which women are we talking about?
I'm just going to mute my mic because I'm boiling the kettle, so it might be a bit loud. But carry on. Just so you know.
To go back to what you were saying, Binky, if we go along with your idea there, what you're saying is that what we'd have to do is we'd have to take a certain belief system and essentially we're going to criminalize it because it isn't in alignment with our own belief systems. Is that right?
Right. This is going to sound really, really backwards, maybe. I'm not sure. I've toyed with this idea for a while now.
Okay.
Islam is only getting away with the bullshit that it's getting away with is because it has the protections of religious status.
Yes.
We need to remove it
as
a respected and accepted religion and put it on the list of known and documented extreme political and social ideologies. And then we can deal with it within the law, within the means of peaceful self-defense. The reason why Islam is getting away with so much evil is because it is hiding behind the banner of a well-respected
It's also got
religion.
Our
it is
government are also
bastardizing the very idea of the faith in a god or gods. It is perverting the entire spiritual and religious discourse.
And most of the MPs that are sponsoring this are people like Chrissy.
Absolutely not. Islam is not a religion, and if it is, it most certainly will not be a religion that will be practiced or accepted on English soil. Period.
It's the religion of the religion of man. It's not the religion of God. There's a very big difference.
We've already witnessed someone who
don't get in.
If Restore don't get in, I don't know. If it's the Greens, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Germany. I'm going to be in Germany if they get in.
Then what does the country look
like? If the Greens get in, I'm going to basically ask Donald Trump if I can move to America. Because
me too. I'm going to seek asylum over there.
We'll both go over there on my dad's autogyro.
He said he's taking.
We're chuffing, what's the name? A crossbow repeater on my dad's autogyro. There you go. Do that.
What is going to happen over the next
it's legal to own a catapult.
Is that the IRGC are going to be absolutely 100% obliterated. The people of Iran are going to regain their sovereignty. They're going to get the king. They're going to get their democracy or whatever it is they want. And I guarantee the Iranian people are going to become the most anti-Islamic people on the planet. We need to bring them people over here and teach us how to spot the leftist mindset and the Islamic mindset that led to the Islamic revolution, the Islamic takeover of Iran in 1979. Because there's no better people on the planet right now than the Iranian people, like Goldie Gamari, I forget her last name, but Goldie.
The left won't listen to you, Binky. The
left can fuck off. Yeah. This is England. This is England. We're in a state of emergency.
Yeah,
this
correct.
Is why the National Security Services ain't pulled Starmer aside 6 months ago.
They're all establishment, mate.
You need to stop this shit right now. Or
why hasn't that happened? Do you think? Why is
they're all establishment? Why they're all in establishment. They're all batting for the same team. The West.
All these one at a time. Power and influence in our country. They've got the privilege of being able to fuck off to another country when things get bad. We don't.
We don't. This is our country.
Here, whether we like it or not, I like it here. To be fair,
I reckon we should put him in jail with all of his Islamic friends.
Why? Who's going to pay for that?
I look forward to seeing the paperwork that
we
comes
can
out
use
of
his money
of Iran when the IRGC gets destroyed. The links to Starmer's government and the organisations in Britain linked directly to the IRGC. Oh my God, that is going to be even more entertaining than the Epstein files.
But do you think he's going to fool? Do you, Binky? You think his time is up and everything's going to come out?
Who's Starmer?
If that were to happen, that would call for a snap election. That would be really shit because that means
I don't think
it would be down to a general vote between Restore and
one at a time.
Reform. One at a time. One at a time. It's just a mess, isn't it?
Right.
Who was talking?
I'll quickly say I think we're getting to the stage where we can't rely on the established government of this country anymore. Radical steps need to be taken, and it's going to come from the likes of getting in touch with people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump and getting links from the ground. I'm not talking about Trump coming over and speaking to the King of England, whoever the fuck that is.
Would you say
sausage fingers?
I'm talking about
in your opinion, Binky,
with the likes of you and I.
Binky, in your opinion, do you think that the government that we have at the moment has lost its legitimacy?
It's criminal. The moment that the asylum problem became a problem, the moment that the government decided, and this is the Conservatives, the Labour, and every government for the last 20 years, the moment that the people realised that there were a problem with this, the moment the government stopped doing anything about it, is the moment that they lost any legitimate legal power to govern the people of this country.
Has anybody
Not
actually
really.
heard from Keir Starmer?
They are
since,
criminal. They
since
are
Iran?
acting
Since
by
Iran?
any measure,
Hang on, hang
every
on.
measure, every metric. They are acting in a criminal
Yes.
manner.
Has anybody heard any news yet about from Keir Starmer over Iran targeting the basically British soil, Diego Garcia? Has anybody heard anything about that today? Because I haven't. Nothing's popped up in my news.
Yeah, they fired some missiles that missed. I know
got
that.
intercepted.
Yeah, but
Of course they missed.
what's come about from the British government, the Labour government? What's come about? Nothing. I haven't heard anything. Yeah, so there you
Probably
go.
an
There's your
apology
answer.
letter that they missed.
Yeah,
Yes, he
probably
did
end up-
apologise to them.
probably end up just.
Oh, you joking? For
it-
real?
it-
The bigger
He
issue with
apologised.
regards to
No,
that
they did.
attack on Diego Garcia is that the IRGC claimed that they only had ballistic missiles that could reach 2,000 miles.
Yeah,
Diego Garcia is 4,000 miles away from Iran.
I'm
That
sure
means
all,
that they have ballistic
all-
missiles that can reach
all
London.
all militaries have their own, their own secret things that they can do. So
Of course,
obviously they've got longer range missiles than what they've made
Well,
out.
look, if they hit London, they're just going to solve 1.5 of the massive Muslim problem that we've got in this country because,
They've just hit the Temple
London.
Mount. They've just hit the Temple Mount, haven't they? And I'm sat there thinking, don't hit the Holy Sepulchre. Just destroy that fucking mosque on top. Please aim for that.
The Al-Aqsa
the Holy
Mosque. Yeah.
Sepulchre underneath. You
Yeah,
can
they wouldn't
destroy
like it if we
Yeah,
wouldn't like it if we destroyed their little black stone, would they? You know what I mean? That little cube that they walk around 7 times, and then kiss, and then rub genitals up against. Apparently, I don't know.
I had an idea when I was younger, getting into a rock band and becoming devoutly Muslim, and getting the opportunity to go and play in front of millions of Muslims at Mecca. But under the stage, I managed to smuggle in a 5 kiloton nuke, and then when I'm doing my final riff, doing the old Freddie Mercury thing, go, this is for the world civilization, and press the button.
That's quite a fantasy.
That was my ultimate fantasy as a 16-year-old.
Quite a fantasy to have. Have you noticed today, Wiz, how different our conversation has been without Chrissy?
He's dropped sleep.
How much calmer it is.
How much not enough.
Is
that calm? Is that? Oh, yeah, no, it's back. It's back in the room.
What have I missed?
No, I just said, have you noticed how much calmer it is and respectful today in the conversation?
Yeah.
Even though we're disagreeing with each other, we're still managing to.
No, I think we're all agreeing, but we're just talking over each other a little bit, which is similar to a Chrissy conversation. But at least we're not going round and round in circles, kind of thing. You know, at least
it's not an ego thing either. It's just people are just excited because they want to say their thing. That's all.
I have to apologise about that because when I get to talking with people, I don't do it often. I live alone, and I have done for the last 10 years.
I was exactly the same.
You know, I keep myself to myself, and an opportunity like this, I'm like a little kid that's got 1,000 years of interesting conversation.
I understand
exactly. Quick before I never get a chance again.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Same here. I had 6 years on my own.
I do apologise.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
We've not had to mute the mics. We've not had to sort of say anything or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we need to probably listen out for when Ace, with our little delicate bits coming in now and again. Maybe she's got oi, and then we know Ace is in the house. But
is my mic really quiet?
No, it's all right.
But you just sound like you're really delicate, and you don't want to sort of really be angry and say, "Oi, I was talking then."
Go across.
No, I will.
Go across.
Every now
I was
and
talking
then.
then.
Like, I like listening to you lot because you've got like. I love
go across the road to Wizard's ass.
So...
Go across to the Wizard's ass, right, and bop him on the end of the nose and say, "There." That's me being quiet.
Where he lives. I know it's down the road from me.
Or just,
I don't know where. You're
in the
Fratton
hospital grounds,
you said, didn't you?
In the hospital grounds, St. Mary's. The new build.
I walk past there when I go to see my best mate. She lives the road next to Meon. Meon, Meon.
Yeah, Meon. I've got blooming camera here. If you walk past, you could pop in, pick up the camera.
Oh, I appreciate that, but I have a plan that I want to do before I get a camera going with, like I'm not afraid of having my face online. I've had my face online already via my phone.
I've
just
seen
that I
it.
wanted
Only
to
fans.
I've
Only
seen
fans.
it.
No, it is not OnlyFans.
It
Jesus
is. Ace of Aces
Crikey.
OnlyFans. I've seen it.
This
Only
isn't my
wizards.
real face. I'm actually in disguise. My real identity is. Hold on, wait for it.
Barbara.
I'm
Barbara.
a black.
Mohammed. Allah
I'm a
Akbar.
black transgender Muslim.
Ja.
Yeah, I'm
From
I'm all of them
Palestine.
things. This is I just put this white English man's camouflage on, so that I can
you can slum it.
infiltrate the right wing and spread my evil leftist Islamic ways.
Yes.
But now you just look like ZZ Top.
You sure you're not Jewish?
So
Right, now I let you all talk. I'll tell you what, I have to say, it's nice to actually sit here and listen to other people and not listen to my own bloomin' voice. That's why I've been quiet, because I've been talking all bloody week. I wanted Jake and Ace here because obviously they always talk sense. It's good to have Binky here. Rich, you're just like a bad smell, mate. Nah, but it's good to have you up as well. Do you know what I mean? And it's like the fact that you all seem to have, you know, what do we call it? A natural respect for other people, that I think it works, because none of this, got to mute the mic and this and that. I think it's been fantastic. But what I want to say is why it's up on screen is what you think about Sadiq Khan hailing the power of being Muslim as he addresses thousands at the biggest iftar in the Western world.
Fucking disgrace is what it is. A fucking disgrace. He should be stripped of that knighthood. He should be
That's
stripped of his
literally the
position.
first thing I was going to say. Why is he
by a
got
leftist government?
And I don't pray, but if I did, I pray for the day that he ends up in prison, and I long for that day, and I will celebrate it. Jump up
God!
and down.
Imagine the party on the cliffs of Dover when we see him getting put onto Channel Tunnel and shifted off to France. Imagine the party we're going to have on cliffs of Dover then.
I
reckon we should put him in a boat and send him back the way they come over. See? Yeah.
I've
Apparently,
got the video
we send
ready.
the boats back anyway, so.
I think it's going to be a more interesting time for Sadiq Khan once the IRGC are gone and the people get access to the governmental documents in Iran. We're going to find exactly where a lot of Sadiq Khan and his Islamic Brotherhood friends are getting their money from. And once that happens, then the national security services of this country have every legal right to arrest him for aiding and abetting a terrorist, a foreign terrorist government, which should be happening now. To be fair, everybody who celebrated the Ayatollah's death, they should all have been rounded up and prosecuted for celebrating a terrorist organisation.
But Binky, like I said to you before, at the moment, beliefs are protected by law, and so you can't do that under the current system.
Well, this is why we need an English revival.
Laws aren't fixed in stone. You can write new laws.
I agree.
You can write new laws that override the laws that prevent you from doing what you need to do. Sometimes, like, you know, we're not living by the same set of laws that we were thousands of years ago, because we've evolved beyond that. We've still got the basic ethics in our laws. Don't kill people, don't steal, blah, blah, blah.
Actually,
sad that has to be in law, but like...
Yeah, but are we at a point
actually, we do. We do. And I've just been watching a guy recently who has a channel called the English Constitution or something, and it's the Magna Carta English laws, and there are laws in there.
Yeah, you're talking about Graham Moore there. Graham Moore, he might be an enemy.
His name. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
It might actually be an enemy of Advance UK because of what he said about Ben Habib. To be honest, because he's looking at the constitutional law as it was in 1689. Right, I know exactly which one you're talking about. No person or prolate should be allowed to be in Parliament, and that is his argument about.
Have them laws ever been repealed?
Pardon? No, they still stand to this day. I mean, they need revising. You know what I mean? Because you get someone like Ben Habib, who's a pure English patriot, British patriot. Anyway, I don't really agree with him saying that he's English, but a British patriot. And he should be allowed to stand in Parliament if you ask me.
I think when it comes to stuff like
Richie
that, I think the old adage, there's an
British,
exception to every rule. And I think no matter how English and white English we want to be, somebody like Ben Habib is probably more of an Englishman. Well, he's British. He's not English, he's Pakistani. He's more of a British man than I am.
Is he culturally English, though, Binky?
You're sorry?
Is he culturally English?
Well, that's suggesting that being English can be
So this is what I'm saying.
He serves to the best of his ability.
One at a time.
Yeah.
He serves to the best of his ability the English common law. Yeah. So even though he might not be English,
he's half English.
He's an honorary member. Do you know, like the king has, like the MBEs and MBE. He's an honorary member of the British Empire.
But he's not English, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not English. No,
exactly. And what's kicked all this stink up is because Ben Habib went on somewhere saying I'm English. You know what I mean? So this is why we need another leader, because he's muddied the waters that way.
Right.
Especially in this political climate as it is at the moment. You know what I mean? And
I think we do my idea, which is we dissolve the current British passport system. We introduce a new one that for separate home nations, so we get an English passport, and then the British passport is given to people who gain citizenship either through marriage, for example, or by earning it, for example, by contributing to our system for 10 years.
I don't think any
way you can distinguish
citizenship.
Then you've got
honorary guest status. Just because somebody comes round to my house and to visit my family and becomes friends with my family, don't make them part of my family.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Anybody who's foreign, who's not indigenous English, they are regarded. It's like when you when you vouch for somebody. I vouch for this guy.
Yeah.
Because he and if you've got the status enough, that vouching of somebody is enough. You don't need to do anything else. He'll always be a member of a friend of England, a resident of England. He'll be British, but he won't ever be English because he's Pakistani. But he can be British.
What about his children? Are his children English?
Well, no.
Until there are zero Pakistani DNA in said child, in which case you would probably be like 5 or 6 generations down the line. No, they are not English because there's still Pakistani DNA.
Hang on.
They have their own. So Europeans and Americans and Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders, we have something that's called the haplogene, and it's got a specific number. If you are found to have that in your genetics, that's an identifier that your ancestry is from Europe, because you can't have haplo1 without ancestry from Europe, and it's different for different groups. So for the Arabs as a group or a race of the human nation, they would have a different haplo, but it's got a different number. So until that haplo is completely missing, no, they're not going to get.
If one of your,
if I'm English, because I did my DNA results a couple of years ago, so it said that I am 92% English, then it was 4% Iberian, and the remainder was Italian. So am I English?
Iberian, isn't that like bordering or near
Russia? This is how it muddles it up. This is how it
so that's
this is where
it doesn't, because the way the haplos work is it quite literally divides the world by sides, because obviously you have like mass congregations of people where those gene pools correlate to that said group of people. So
now,
like anywhere like north and west will have the same sets of genes, unless you've had someone come over.
I can trace my family history for 200 years, so there's no Portuguese or Spanish that I'm aware of. So am I English?
I think we're beyond the. I think the human race is actually, well, at least the English race has like, you know, got over the gene issue. You know what I mean? And I think it just muddies the water. You know, because you can just keep talking about genes constantly. You know what I mean?
Well, what you're saying, if you're saying that you're 92%, to me, I reckon if anyone can say that the most dominant, so if they say 50% comes up English, 20% this, I don't know, 10% that, and this and that and everything else, whatever the most is should be what you are first and foremost. So with 92% English, to me, I would say you're English. If you had 51% English and 49% someone else, then you are more English than the other thing. You are English. Yeah,
and also as long as you know you.
So hello, my English friend.
And as long as you're not forcing other laws onto the country and stuff like that, I think that's where we need to draw the line.
I was going to say exactly that. It's not just your genetics; it's also your culture as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
It also, well, there is this side of it as well that not many people mention. The men and women who went off and fought the Nazis, who overcame the Blitz, who abolished slavery. All that line of ancestry they did that so that people, that my generation, us, could inherit and prosper in England. And like you were just about to say, this idea of importing foreign cultures and saying that diversity is our strength is to me an insult to every single generation that's come before me.
It's offensive, and I agree.
It is, and this is why I get strong about that one myself. I don't get into the old gene thing. I look at the actions of the people who came before me, the people who fought, died, worked their asses off in the coal mines, came down with unimaginable illnesses and died horrible deaths, led to us being here now. If we continue to allow these foreign influences to dictate how we should be acting in our own home, in our own country, if we keep on allowing that to happen, then it's only going to end in either we're wiped out or the English begin to hate, and it will be blood on the streets.
Yeah, that's ECHR that you're talking about there. They're basically, dictating our rules to us. Yeah. I don't know if you know or not.
Are you agreeing then that it's not about race and ethnicity, it's about culture? Or are you saying that ethnicity is a factor as well?
Both, I'd say.
It depends on where the ethnicity is from.
It's not as black and white as what a lot of people
interesting choice of phrase there, Binky.
I hate to sound like a lefty, but it's all on the spectrum, isn't it?
we go back to what I mentioned at the beginning of all this. 3 hours ago when I said that we British, we English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh, over centuries of blood, sweat, and tears, we have prepared a meal that can be beaten by nobody, and that meal consists of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of that. But ultimately, all them ingredients, we British, we English, put together to create that meal. If anybody wants to come in and start pissing in the in the milk and saying, "Oh no, you need to add this, that, and other," we have every right, and we need to, by the very definition of us being in our own homes, in our own country, we need to say no. If you're going to insist, we're going to tell you no again. If you keep on insisting, please leave the house. And if you don't leave voluntarily, I'm going to kick you out.
Get fucking tasers out.
I completely agree. I completely agree. A full English breakfast with 2 sausages, 2 rashers of bacon, and a slice of black pudding.
English
Will
food is so bland and boring.
Let me get to the punch. Let me get to the punchline. Let me get to the punchline. Will defeat any Muslim.
Right, now it's my turn. Thanks, Rob, for your thanks for your support, Robert. The Kofi donation. He said, "Don't drink it all at once." Well, it will actually go on coffee, mate. So I don't drink alcohol every days. Helen, can I just say you are always welcome up here, my dear. Always.
There's the link then. Where the link go?
Yeah, I didn't put it up because that Chrissy was in the chat, so I made sure I deleted what I had put up, and because obviously after what we know about him, lest we say, Bobby, if he's still about, you're more than welcome to come up. Philip, what you're saying, like unsubscribed, I mean, okay, mate, fair enough.
I haven't even seen him before.
It's all good. But yeah,
is it
I'm gonna drop out now. I'm getting a bit tired, but thanks to all of you. It's been a really interesting conversation.
That's right, mate. I'm literally going to play this video and then. Yeah, I just realised that as he said that. I need to play this video and that'll probably be it. So.
All right.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say it's been a real pleasure being able to talk to people and actually ask them questions, challenge their ideas, and have people not respond by being really angry and actually being calm, rational, and explaining themselves, and actually saying what not standing up for, but actually having the courage of their convictions and telling the truth as they see it. And I think that that's a really good thing that you've done here, Wiz.
It's brilliant. I think the one problem we're going to face over the next few years is this.
It's binky because no one can talk because it's all binky.
I'll say this and then I'll leave it to it. Right. We have had to tolerate so much humiliation and disgusting, vile behaviour thrown at us for so long now that all we are asking is that if you just let us have our country the way we want it, as England, then we can work with other ethnic groups and come to arrangements and agreements. However, if this leftist Islamist alliance keeps pushing and forcing us to eat their bullshit, then even I myself will happily admit that I will potentially be pushed into the far right. I am white. This is my country. I don't give a flying fuck what fucking colour skin you've got. Get the fuck out. And I'll never do that.
That will be an unfortunate place to be.
That is where we are being pushed. We're not choosing to go down that road.
No.
We are being forced down that road as a way, as a means for the left and the Muslims to stand there and play the victim and go, I told you they were all far right. I told you they were fascists.
Yeah.
We are being pushed down that road. And what these leftists and these Muslims don't realise is that England, for all its beautiful history and its glorious heritage, we wrote the book on genocide. We wrote the book on every evil, barbarian act that you could commit against another human being. And if we are pushed into that corner to the point where we are faced with extinction, the English will begin to hear.
We'll reach for the pitchforks.
Oh, not just the pitchforks. We can buy drones off Temu that can carry water balloons filled with pig's blood and hang.
Yeah, but you know what you're going to get done then. You know what you're going to get done for then, don't you? From the farming EU thing that they've got is you'll get done then for fertilizing the land using a natural product, namely pig's blood. You know what I mean? So you'll get locked up for that, mate.
No, we're just baptized. We call it a baptism. We call it a religious baptism of our land. We cover our land in pig's blood because it makes great fertilizer.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
nobody can enter England. The provision of you getting into England at the border, you have got to sit there and not just eat but thoroughly enjoy a bacon sandwich. If you can't do that,
another filter that you can use. Yeah.
Right,
do they get brown sauce and ketchup?
I can be as barbaric as these motherfuckers who are trying to force it down my throat. I choose not to. I go by Jordan Peterson, who says,
he's a legend.
Don't become the monster, be the monster, but then learn how to harness that monster. Something along them lines. Don't be a gardener in a war, be a warrior in a garden. And that's what they're by the very act of them telling us what we can and can't do as English people in our country. They are forcing us into that position, and they know they are. Yeah. And we have been very, very tolerant for a very long time, and that tolerance, that patience is quickly running out, and that is why you're ending up with the rise of really, really right wing people who basically say, "Don't give a fuck whether you're black, white, yellow, or brown. Get the fuck out." We don't want to go down that road, and we won't go down that road if we have our way. But that's the kind of retaliation to all this mass diversity nonsense. That is a conclusion that's going to be drawn from it all, and that is the path that we're going to end up being forced down. And nobody wants to go down that path. Nobody wants to become the monster. People in the armed forces who've been out in the battlefields and faced it themselves, most of them are pretty much guarantee don't want to do that, but if necessary, they will do that.
Yeah. See, I don't think it's us that's decided this. I don't think it's not us that's decided this. For many, many, many elections, we've voted, to end mass migration and stuff. And it's just the weak will of the government that hasn't allowed that to come to fruition for the last God knows how many years.
We've been voting anti-immigration since the end of World War II. You can Google it.
Yeah, and we've been ignored. Which tells me there's motives at play, which make it even more sinister and even more critical that the national security services of this country get somebody like what's his name? Is it Peter Bletchley, the ex-police officer?
Bletchley.
Oh yeah.
He's a legend.
We need people like him because people like him will
back in charge of the police force. Yeah.
Oh yes, indeed. I would urge Rupert Lowe to pick up the phone when Rupert gets into power and ring Bletchley.
Did anyone see about the army?
Sorry.
Did anyone see about the army where they're basically doing this thing with DEI where they're basically turning around to male soldiers, asking them if they want to wear lipstick and nail
polish?
Whilst they're serving. What the actual? Are they trying to demasculise our army? Like, what the hell?
What's that guy called?
Of course they are. They're all for the establishment, aren't they? They're trying to weaken us on all fronts, so as they're able to do whatever they want to do with it, the country.
We'd employ that
bloody video, will we?
We'd employ that guy who does fast track performance. He's an ex-RAF pilot.
Yeah, watch him. Yeah.
Oh, he's brilliant. We get him back in charge of the armed forces. Yeah. Give him a position to like go and sort it out.
Yeah, that's him.
Are you ready to watch our pathetic police force?
Yeah, he's good.
Let's play this video. We'll play this video like 3 minutes. Have your quick say on it, and then we'll be done. Because I didn't realise we're going so long, and I'm going to be with Jake.
Yeah, I'm
and Defiant.
Video. Sorry. Play the clip. Play the clip.
Here we go.
I need to take my medication.
Get off him! Get off him, you cunt! Get off him! Get off him! Stay here. I've got him. Are you okay, Bob? I'm all right. Fred! A BB! We got it on camera! I wasn't going there, no. Fucking hell! It's the police! Fuck! How about I've just been filming it? I keep on telling you that.
He's not with it.
I told you that before, but none of you would listen. I've been trying to tell every single officer that the security guards don't want me and they threatened to get me out.
Well, what are you doing?
Filming both sides. Yes, because officers pushed me. I've got officers telling me I'm part of UKIP.
Humiliation with one side.
I'm not. I've written articles publicly condemning. I can film. What are you doing? I can film you. All you're doing is committing a crime. What you're doing is committing a crime. I can film a public space.
You can, but I do not want to stick held to the thing for the fit disorder.
Time to go down there. What, down there? Yeah, so I can die. Yeah, fantastic.
It's not with another.
Oh.
Okay. The problem we've got is, you can film me all you want, but I know.
I'm not part of UKIP. I keep on telling every officer.
Okay, but you turn up at every single event.
No, I haven't.
You are affiliated.
I am not. I've written public statements. In fact, Hope Not Hate did a sting where I publicly condemned UKIP.
It's either you stay there, or you go through there.
So I either get hit by their security guards, or I get hit by them.
Well, what do you want to do?
I want to stay here until you've been cleared.
Stay where you are then.
Yeah, fantastic.
You'd be locked up for the piece of 6 death bitch because you've got a camera in your hand to not make your mother.
You are actually appalling. I'm going to sue all of you. So I have a security guard that got assaulted and is now distanced. I either go there and I get killed, or I go over there. I'm under the age of 18, so you have a duty of care to ensure my safety. Okay, well, their security guards assaulted me. They are assaulted me. My security guard has just been taken away by the police.
Can I speak? Can I speak now?
Well, apologies. My adrenaline's pretty high.
Okay. You've got one or two. You've got a number of options. First of all, you join either of the groups. Yeah. Secondly, because you are a juvenile, I arrest you for verbal breach of the peace for your safety. Your choice.
I'd prefer to do neither.
Well, you don't have those two choices. Join a group or you get arrested.
What's your name, sorry? Thomas Moffat.
Thomas.
I would prefer to stay with you two lovely officers. It may be a sterile...
This is now a sterile area.
I'm a member of the PATS.
You're not a member of the PATS. You haven't got
I do have accreditations. Yes, I can show you.
You were only... what's that you can work as 16. What's your surname, Thomas?
Moffat.
Moffat. Moffat. And date of birth, please.
No, ITT.
ITT.
Wow.
Yeah, deport them police officers as well. Get them out.
Was that the Al Quds march? Was that to do with
So, yeah, but UKIP were one side, weren't they? Because he was saying, I'm nothing to do with UKIP.
Yeah.
One thing
what was the other side for?
He got attacked by UKIP and then tried to get into a safe area, and he got attacked by Antifa. I think it was Antifa that attacked his bodyguard. And the police, instead of saying, okay, we know the situation, we'll keep you here for your own safety, instead, they were just playing silly buggers, which they should be sacked on the spot for, because they willfully, intentionally endangered that kid's life by giving him an ultimatum. You either go with them who are going to batter you, or you go with them who are potentially going to batter you.
Which battering do you prefer?
That is not policing. That is an insult to every decent police officer. And I'm sure Peter Bletchley would go down there and get every single one of those officers involved, take them down back alley and give them a good beating. Because that's what people like that need. I'm sorry, but they're not police officers.
When were that stream from, Wiz? When were the stream from, Wiz?
Defiant, I think he's the one that emailed it to me. He said, no, it's from UKIP in Liverpool today.
Oh, right.
Oh, UKIP.
I don't like the fact that a 17-year-old kid is going to these things on his own and, getting himself into situations where there is clearly trouble. I don't think that he's got the experience to handle himself in those situations effectively.
That's why he took a bodyguard with him.
No, I know that, but I mean, intellectually, I don't think he has, because some of the things that he says...
Oh, wait, Jake, young Bob, it's young Bob. He is very, very, very switched on. I've watched a lot of his content.
Yeah,
he knows his laws.
But he is not as smart as he thinks he is, and he quite often gets words wrong. And I think that he just doesn't have the maturity, I don't think, to have the conversations that he's having at the moment. Although in time, he might be able to do that. I don't have any problem with him. I just have a problem with the fact that a 17-year-old kid shouldn't be put in those positions really, and people are using him. I think.
Yeah.
My issue with all that, you know, that you had on one
pressure,
side the far right, the UKIP, and you had not far right, you had UKIP on one side and Antifa on the other. As if I were the commanding officers in charge there, it'd be a case of, right, this has gone on long far enough. We draw the police, let them have at it. Get anybody let them fight it out, because I guarantee after that fight, those leftists would think twice about acting the way they are on the streets of England.
What I take from that though is that why is it not possible for a 17-year-old to go and do some filming on the street? That's what I take from
that as well.
You know.
Yeah, I can see both sides, but
on his streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are we even, you know, having this conversation? You know what I mean? It's just.
Why are the protests even happening?
Of what Antifa are trying to shove down our throats.
Exactly.
And it's going to get to the stage where it's going to be a case of, well, just don't police it. Let them go into a football stadium. Let UKIP take their men. Let Antifa take their men. And whoever comes out of that, then you go home and you go on your merry way. Let them have at it. Use whatever weapons you want.
Yeah.
Not guns, not knives. You know, take a few clubs. If you're, you know, back in day where you had your football teams fighting each other. You know, I'm not endorsing that, because football's, come on, it's a sport.
But it wasn't like this though.
But when it comes to when it comes in some areas, it was. Those football gangs and those fights were sometimes biblical. They were fairly
Portsmouth had 657 crew, Millwall, Luton.
Millwall, I know Millwall, yeah.
Well, we're going on football now. I don't do football.
Crazy time.
I mean,
about the violence, but no, it's good. I just want to show that, and that's it. I want to wrap it up now because we've been talking for hours. But I had to get that
good chat, guys. Really appreciate it.
Defiant Fox is like,
good to speak to you.
But yeah, but I'm live. We're live again tomorrow at 4:00. So happy days. No. So if you're around tomorrow at 4:00,
I'm in all day.
So I'll see you guys. See you guys. Throw myself out.
Throw yourself out. Whoosh.
Bye.
See you later.
Thank you very much. As always, it's been a pleasure. Happy days. And tomorrow we're live at 4:00. That's another call in. So we'll see what's going on and see what we talk about. It's been rather interesting. So
I probably won't be as excited tomorrow.
Where's the button?
You're stuck. You're here streaming all this.
I've got a big black bar. I've got a big. Oh wait, hang on. I think that extends the. There we go. It put it full screen. I didn't know how to get it out of full screen. Okay, cool. Binky, just before I go, mate, because I'm going to hop off quickly. You're obviously clearly a Restore voter. Really love that. I'm also going to be 100% Restore.
I think I am.
Go check out my channel. I'd be interested in your thoughts on my release for his news yesterday, because I've covered a lot of, like, I think you'll really appreciate it. Anyway, with that said, I'm gonna hop off. But let me just get always, mate.
What's your channel name? What's your username?
The username, is that the one with the @ Oh yes. God, I'm really showing myself up now.
What's your name? If you just type something in chat, I'll click.
What in the stream?
Yeah, in YouTube chat. If you just type something.
Oh, in YouTube, right? I don't have YouTube open. I'm on StreamYard's website. Hang on.
All right.
Otherwise,
yeah,
it's like
type it in StreamYard, and I'll copy it. I'll check the channel out.
Hang on a minute. I think you'll appreciate it, and I don't know why it's not. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, I put a few funnies in there just for people that are hardcore Restore voters and know that it's the best option for what we need in this country. But anyway, Wizard, loved the convo as per normal, absolutely epic. have a good one, and I'll
Happy
catch you
days.
out at some
Yeah,
point,
you
right?
too. You too.
It's
Hope
been
we
a-
see you
it's been a
tomorrow.
pleasure- It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Have a good evening. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
See
you too,
ya.
Binky. Bye, bye.
See you later.
Right, I'll get off as well because I'm an hour and a half overdue on my medication, and that's probably why I'm getting excited and manic.
I do that at night. I was supposed to have my pills at 9 and I carry on to about 10. I'm like, oh.
Oh God, I
But,
come awake at night. It does my head in. I can't do up during the day, but come 5 o'clock when sun starts going down, my creative mind spins up, and I'm in workshop, or I'm at Woodlave, or I'm making music, or doing all sorts of random shit. So it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you all. I look forward to it again.
Mate, having you up. Yeah. We do call-ins on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday, Sunday 4 p.m. So if you're about, mate, then you're more than welcome.
I'll speak to you tomorrow again then.
Yeah, no worries, mate. It's all good.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Well,
and
thank you very much for having me
on. That's all right, mate. It's been a pleasure. Go and check out her channel and
yeah.
Happy days.
I've got that. I've already got it up. I'm gonna go grab myself a coffee after this. Put my feet up.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Waffles put the link in the chat as well. So there you go. Happy days. You'll be able to find her. That's all good. That's all good.
Spot on.
Brilliant. Happy days.
And yeah, good evening to everybody who's been in chat listening to our ramblings and stuff. I really appreciate having opportunity to talk. So yeah, I'll catch you all tomorrow.
Yep. Happy days. Be brilliant, mate.
You have yourself a good night, and everybody else.
You too, mate.
Have yourself a safe and a pleasant evening.
Happy days. Cheers, mate. Take it easy. I can remove you, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Like so. I hope you want to say something. You'll be like, oh. But yeah, wow, that's a long one. It's a good chat. It's a good chat. Do you know it's nice when the whiz isn't talking every 5 seconds, isn't it? So yeah, but that's good too. We've got Binky up, a nice new face, new voice. It's all good, and it's great to have Jake and Ace up. Obviously, Richard as always. So it's all happy days. But yeah, so thank you to all of you who have tuned in, and watched here and watched there, and happy days. So yeah, see you all tomorrow. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. We're here at 4 o'clock. We'll see who's around to call in and whatnot, and see what we're talking about. So it'll be good. So yes, stay. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow if that's a thing, mate. So we'll be back at 4 o'clock. So happy days. Take it easy, Pat. Live the dream. Stay safe. Stay healthy. That's what I say. So it's all good. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I say at the end of every single video. That is the wizard's words.